Hopefully this works. Went through. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. We're all in the mood for a melody, and you got us feeling alright. La da 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 da. Everything I've tried to do today don't work. Hello. Technology. I feel like we're in fucking Mercury retrograde, and we're not. Are we? Are we in Mercury retrograde? Is there one happening? Everything I've tried to do with technology for like the last fucking week is, you know, the Patreon thing got fucked up. Then like today, I have ATMs that I can use for free. I went to 3 of them, and I still couldn't use one of the ones that were free. I had to pay $5 to use an ATM. And then trying to do this, it was like not working correctly. No, there's no, I didn't think so, but it seems like there is. And there's some weird shit going on out there too. When I got home tonight, there was a thing going across, moving. It was like boop, 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 a doop, boop, a doop. And there was other ones farther out coming in. When I got to the door, it stopped moving. The other ones continued to come, and then other ones came after it and even came in the same path as it. And it went from going this way to that way. And it was out there for so fucking long, and it was so bright. Like, it didn't matter which window I went near, I could see it. And it was like, it was crazy. It was weird. And I was like, what do you want? Like, what are you trying to tell me? I feel like the fires, all this stuff. I saw so many things today. It's just like, I saw people commenting about the fire because it was, you know, those people who are like, they're not even that famous. They're like people who were on the hills or whatever. I can't think of his name. He got into crystals. He's married to Heidi Preston Prancer. What the hell's his name? What's his name? Hi everybody. What is his name? Some of you will know it. But anyways, his house burnt, right? And he's like, just watching my house burn. And people in the comments are like, I don't give a shit about these famous people. Who cares about them? They're not gonna help us, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that is why the world is on fire. Because of that. Because you are so fucking horrible. All of you are so horrible to each other. Like, he's a human being. His house is on fire. He's not that famous. He doesn't have that much money, and it's not his responsibility to fix. Because he was like, people are complaining that they're famous, so they'll probably have another house, or they'll be fine, or their insurance. But like, all the insurance companies fucking canceled on them recently, on all the people around there. So no, he probably doesn't have insurance. And they were trying to say because he, like, they specifically, Heidi and Spencer, didn't help the people who went through like the fucking hurricanes, specifically didn't help them, so like now we don't care about them. And it's like, that's not their responsibility. We're not asking you to help them, but having compassion and empathy instead of being like, fuck them because of they have money and we don't, is why the world is on fire. It's why the world's on fire. That's how I feel. But yeah, there's been a lot of weird shit. Sunset was changed tonight too. Where do you live? Are you close to that stuff? Are you close to all that shit? The whole fucking world is crazy. Nothing's working for me. I just want to fucking, like I told my dad today, I was like, I really like wish that it was possible for me to, but it's not. I've tried, it doesn't work. Like, I really feel like there's, like, we're at the end. And I'm like, maybe that's why I feel these ways, because it's like there's so many mean people in the world for no fucking reason. And I care. I actually care about people, and I'm like just surprised that people can be like, "Oh, well, they have money, so screw them." Like, and there was a lot of it. I screenshotted some of it and I was circling it. I was going to post and be like, "This is why the world's on fire." But it's just messed up the way people are. And then they're like, "Why is the world on fire? Why is everything falling apart? Why are we all getting murdered? Why does my life suck?" Because you're horrible. You're a fucking asshole. Stop being so horrible. But I can't even say that, because even when you're nice and care, it's not like things are hunky dory all the time. It's a catch-22. Having empathy, like I said, somebody said something to me the other night. They're like, people need to not fuck with you because you be knowing shit and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, but it's like I don't even want to know the shit that I know. It's not always that all that it's cut out to be. You don't want to know the things that we know. I'm in far North Cali. Yeah, they changed fire coverage even like 2 weeks ago. Like fucking 2 weeks ago. It's the same shit that they did when they fucking took out all of Hawaii. I'm in Australia, and we know all about devastating fires. Like, can you imagine looking at anybody's house burning up? And it was like he had cameras in his house. So it was in his kid's bedroom. It was his kid's bedroom on there, burning. And people are, fuck them. Nobody cares. I hope all of the famous people there die and burn. I'm like, it's not just famous people, and they're not even that famous. They were just kids that got sucked into a world. Society sense community is all but killed these, yeah. And they wonder why everything's falling apart. Join now to get reading, which is 1 to join to get free reading. Suspicious. Now with stars who lost their property. Everything is messed up. Get blue shingles. I know. I saw somebody earlier today posted, and they were like, "What's weird about this picture?" And everything was destroyed except for one of the blue trash cans. Like a plastic fucking blue trash can. Totally fine. Car melted. House melted. I watched a guy that has like a motorbike thing, and he drove all around there for 45 minutes, and it looks like they had bombs go off. And that thing's back. It's back. Or one like it is back, doing the same thing, going very, very slow, then stops, and then goes very, very slow, and then stops, and then other ones go past it, and then it goes out that way. I don't know. I feel like things are weird. So many things are weird. Direct energy weapon, yeah, I feel like that too. I like, and then I see people who are like conditioned to trust the bullshit, and they're like, "Oh no, we just don't have like they don't have water." I saw a guy last night. He was at his house. His neighbor's house was on fire, and he's like, "I can't even do anything because they turned off the fucking water. There's no water in the hydrants. Like, we have ocean right there, dude. Like, why haven't we innovated the ocean to be the way that we put out our fucking fires? Like, water shouldn't be closed. It's all bullshit. It's all lies. It's all, but people are like, oh, but that's just because, like, there's not enough room for it to be held. Blah 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 blah." Like, it just seems a little suspicious. It seems a little suspicious that all, like, when companies like that, big companies that are insurance companies, are like, let's all pull out of fire protection today. And it's just like with the 9/11 shit, they did that too. Down in the 9/11, they were all prepared before 9/11 happened, within like days of it. Oh, but that was legit. Blue is lucky, year of the snake color. I think somebody said something today about if you look at like China or Japan, I can't remember which one it was, but one of those places, like everywhere you look with Google, it's all blue on the tops of their houses. And the Santa Ana winds are creating fire tornadoes too. Yeah, yeah. I've seen a lot. Econ says easy to remove salt from water. I've said that when I was a kid. I was like, if we're running out of fresh water, why don't we take the salt out of the salt water? And because I was always worried about the polar bears. I was like, can't we like do like a filtration system and set up like a big ice tray, like a big huge ice tray, so that the polar bears have something to go on, just like, because I knew we could desalinate. Like, we could take the salt out, right? If we could take the salt out, we could freeze the fucking thing, and we can give them some big things to sit on. And it's funny we say this, right? Because earlier today I was looking at the map when I was looking at my star map thing, I was looking at the map of the world, and I was like, I remember when I was in school, Alaska, and everything up there was all white. It was all covered in snow. Now it's not. Now it's just like there's barely any white up there. And it's like, we should be doing something about that. Like, we can help. There's things that we could do. Winds are portals like tornadoes are spirals. I feel like it's a combination of them doing some fucked up shit. But yeah, it's been bothering me. It's been bothering me. I'm a little fired up about it. What are the alien races saying? I don't know. I haven't really talked specifically to them. I've been wicked busy doing private readings and shit for people. Like, I did cord cuttings. I've got natal chart readings. I've got like ritual half reading things. And I have people who like all day, every day want readings about like things that to me don't really much matter. Like, it doesn't matter in the big scheme of things. And sometimes it's like very redundant. But when I do connect to them, like, I feel that something is going on, and I know that they're here to help. And like the whole thing with the drones and stuff, like the drones, it's funny. I cut things out of when I was talking to them, and because I had asked them specifically if they were connected to something, and I didn't post it because I didn't want to put that out there to the collective if I wasn't sure. But since then, I've seen like 3 other things that confirm that the drones are not anything to do with the aliens. The aliens are the orbs. They're out there, but there's so many distractions. There's so many things going on. I do feel like we're coming to like a breaking point where things will shift, and I do feel like there can be a good side and a not so good side, but you can see it in the world where it's like, yeah, these like, I can understand why we might want to like give people like give them a chance to repent or be nice or to transform a little bit, but they don't. There's so many people that are just like selfish and evil and mean for no reason, and also fucking like they're like victimized by other people's success, so they will never have success because like, fuck all of the famous people with money, they're probably fine, they probably have other houses. Like, that's not the point, and if you act like that, you will never have anything like that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, look at wealthy. Yeah, the abundance, I did the candles, and then after that it was like bing bang bing bing boom, all of these orders are coming in, which is what I intended, was like to have abundance come in. But it was like it went from kind of like being stale and stagnant to like boom 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 boom, and I was like, okay, cool. But I've also been doing other rituals and things, so lots of stuff's been coming in. I've been just busy. Hello, hello. Wondered if there was a message for me. Sure. So tonight is the members live thingy, so the people with the green names are you know, they go ahead of the others. And if anybody wants to make a donation for $2.99, you can ask a question too. But I know a lot of you guys have the green names, so I'm going to put you guys ahead of the others. Long time no talk. Yeah, I was all fired up when I got up in here. It's just been a fucking crazy day, like, or crazy. Like, the other day, I tried to delete the $1.11 tier on my Patreon, and for some reason, it deleted the 11.11 tier that had like 5 members in it. But it doesn't take them out. It doesn't stop them paying. They're just no longer in a tier. So I had to like make a new tier and then bulk edit all of the posts that they're supposed to be able to see. Let them know about it. One girl upgraded. Instead of being at the 11.11, she goes to the 22.22. And then the next day they like canceled her shit. She don't have any tier at all. It's like, she paid to upgrade. She was part of the upgrade. She got into all the stuff for it, and then the next day it was like they took it away, and she's waiting for them to contact her. But it's been like that, and then like the ATM thing. I went to a store today. It was like, oh, sorry, this is temporarily unavailable. So go to another store, and it was like I put my card in, and it just was like trying, can't. So I left that store, went to the other place, and spent $5 to do the thing instead of the free ones that are all broken. But it's like I keep hitting weird ass walls with technology and seeing a lot of fire and a lot of things that are burning. I don't know. There's a lot going on. But Drew has asked, what did you ask? Wonder what messages for you. Okay. I know we had, I feel like Mercury, well, I guess it could still be kind of hitting us, but I don't know. It feels like it's bigger than that. There's a lot of shit going on. And I've been not okay, like at all. So we got the Nine of Cups coming through, and I do feel like there, like if you've been in a chapter or cycle where you've been kind of overwhelmed, or you've been dealing with any of this chaotic stuff, or seeing these things in the world, I feel like the people who are gonna be on my channel, people who come around, they also are like empaths, and you may not even be consciously aware of it sometimes, but we do get impacted by all of this chaos on the planet. We do get impacted by the pain and the suffering that is happening, and it can be harmful to us. But I've been getting this message a lot, even in the Patreon for the readings in there. It's like, we've known one side of things, we know the darkness, we know the suffering, we know the like lack, we know all of that. So just as easily as we know those things, we can know the opposite of it, and those cycles can end. But there's also like a big cycle closing for the world, and the people who are on the right side of the things, that are not like, oh, screw them because they're fucking, they have money or things like that, they're probably going to be happy. They're gonna have a passionate new beginning. I do feel like the fires are also symbolic of like the transformation that's occurring, and people, like, that's the fastest way to transmute things, that's the fastest way to manifest things. So like when I light a candle, I know it's going to be powerful, and it always is. You definitely felt that. I feel like we have a chance and an opportunity to basically like ignite the split between the 3D 5D type of thing. I don't even feel like, because I think we give people the wrong idea when we say things like that, like, oh yeah, there's going to be a new earth. People think they're going to wake up someday, go outside, and it's like, oh wow, new earth, wow, look at it. But it's a frequency, it's a thing that shifts over time. So as you awaken, and as you shift, and as you heal, and as you ascend, your reality around you ascends, and the people who don't, theirs will either descend or stay the same. So you will no longer vibrate with certain people, you'll no longer be like able to be connected to that type of reality, those things. So I do feel like there is a closing of cycles. I do feel like things are transmuting. I do feel like people are going to be happy again. But it is a time of a new beginning, but we need to value ourselves, and put down stable grounding energy for ourselves, and step into the masculine vibration too. This came through the other day for the Twin Flame Tuesday. It was like, being in your emperor energy of like, I'm going to get things done, I'm going to pursue what I need to pursue, I'm going to provide for myself, I'm going to protect myself, but I'm also going to balance that with my feminine energy. I'm not going to burn myself out to the ground. Like, I know I can do work, and I know I can show up, and I can feel confident and make decisions and do all of these things for myself and get active, but I also want to be able to be receptive and receiving, and allow myself to sit back sometimes and just nurture myself, because otherwise we leave ourselves out in the cold in one aspect, and that's something we need to be able to balance out, which I do feel like is happening for a lot of people. So seems like you're connected to that too. We also had Ace of Cups. It's like a new beginning to celebrate, bringing back in the things that we felt we have been missing or lost, or have eluded us in some way. Like if we had a broken heart, if we felt like alone, if we felt like we didn't have the abundance that we need, if we felt like we didn't have the joy or the happy family, if you felt like isolated, sadness, depression, darkness, anxiety, all of that stuff, I do feel like we're transmuting that and letting it go. And here that thing comes again. He's a little tiny guy coming up, and I don't know what he's doing. He's being a weirdo. But I do think fulfillment will come for those who are willing to do the work. And I think you're one of those people that's been willing to do the work. What minimum tier again to join monthly free reading can do it today or next month? So I did, the people who are in the $5.55 tier in Patreon and up, they get to do a free question when I do lives. But I did get rid of the 111 tier because nobody ever signed up to it. So it was like, let me get, like, I did actually get rid of that, but it simultaneously got rid of the 1111. The 1111 is back, but the 555 is what opens people up for that. Yeah, I had to quit work because I had severe burnout. I just saw the 10 of swords, and I've been seeing the 5 of swords. So embrace that energy for yourself and acknowledge that it's okay. Like, I also keep getting that, like, it's okay to take a break, it's okay to relax, it's okay to sit back. Like, we don't constantly have to be trying or busting our ass. It's within our mind too. Like, if we think we're just being lazy, or we think we're just not doing enough, or we think that there's something wrong with us, we will reflect that into the world around us. So we want to think positively about what we're doing and take baby steps. Trust your intuition before it makes sense. And this is something that's been coming up a lot too. It's like when you have intuitive ability, or you're psychic, or you're empathic, or whatever, a lot of times we do receive things that don't necessarily make sense. Like the night that I was talking to the orb, and I was like, let me cut that part of this video out so that I don't put the wrong info. And then it gets confirmed like 5 times after. And I'm like, I should have put that part in there because it aligns with all these other things that are being said. But it's like sometimes we don't trust that intuition. Sometimes we cut that part out, or we don't speak on it. And we need to be able to do that. That's that masculine vibration of the confidence, being in our power, taking the steps before it makes sense, but also embracing the feminine energy to know that it doesn't always necessarily mean like busting your ass until you're dead. It doesn't mean you have to be so like difficult or burning out. Tend to your inner child, to the innocence and the rare gifts that you have. And I do again think that karma is being cleared. It's like things are coming to a head. The polarity is shifting. So people's soul growth is going to be reflected in the polarity that's happening. And all of this conflict on the planet, all of the conflict within ourselves, we are going to see the other aspects of that come around. But, you know, it depends on how we've been showing up and how we are tending to ourselves. So you are bringing harmony and balance into your energy. And you do want to tend to your inner child at this time. Be nurturing and receptive to the divine mother, okay? The divine mother in yourself, the divine mother that's all around us, the energy of Pachamama. Go where you're led to go, whether that's like to work, or whether that's just at home, whatever you feel guided to do, and know that you are a part of a team. So call in the support of your star family, and there are hidden secrets, lost wisdom, and your star ancestors want you to look a little bit deeper under the surface for those answers. And share your song, your frequency, and your sound with the whale orcas in that energy. That's like the Syrian consciousness, the cosmic ocean. Which again, today I saw something very much deeply connected. I saw a prayer from one of the Quero, like shaman or the Paco from Peru. And it was like, I don't even know what he was saying. He was saying it in a different fucking language, but I could feel it. I could feel it in my crown. I could feel it in my heart. I could feel it like, I was like, whoa, and I could see shit. And it was like, oh, but that's like connecting with that energy in any way that you feel like you're guided to, because there are karmic things that are being cleared out at this time. So go where you're led to go. But know that, yeah, a new earth is happening. So hold the vision of seeing yourself ascending, seeing yourself going to that new vibration, overcoming the adversity, overcoming the void. Like, I do feel like we've been kind of in this, like, this darkness or this vastness that's been like, where the fuck are we going? How long are we going to be here? Why is it so difficult? But you are the artist. You are the one that can create for yourself. So trust your own, like, guidance within yourself. If you feel like you need to let go of things in your life, let it go. Again, take your power, but don't do it to a degree where you're detrimental. And don't let your, you know, oh no, look what everybody else is doing. Don't let that hurt you. It's okay to be a hermit sometimes. It's okay to protect your energy and know that justice and balance is coming for you. I'm taking it easy while I wait for surgery for breast lump removal. I'm sorry, man. It's a good idea to just let yourself receive and ask for them. Ask them to support you and surround you with the healing that you need at this time so that they can help you. Like, they're like, I've seen people be like, oh, I have this thing, boop, and we work, and the next time I see them, they're like, oh, it disappeared, it's magically gone. So know that you can do that. You can call in your ancestors, because it wasn't me. It's not like I needed to be a part of it. It's spirit that comes in and removes those things. So ask them. How is your doggy after surgery? Did you get enough to get it? Yeah, so Honey Bunny got her surgery done. Did you get enough? Mitochondrial cell detox and rebuild and increase will... Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Honey Bunny got hers done, but now Sadie Lady has one that is very similar, and she's not been the best, but she's also the oldest. And it's been kind of like, I don't know what the fuck to do, because she keeps... Like, it's like no matter what I feed her, no matter what I try, she's always itchy, and she's just like got a cough, and it's like, oh my god, just so much. Always so much. She's always had a cough her whole life, but it's been like increasing. And it's just, you know, we get too many fucking dogs basically. But yeah, Honey Bunny got hers done. She's all good. She's all happy. She's free of her fucking weird thing. Her lump in her boob. So that helped. Yeah, baby steps. Take action before it makes sense. Okay, so did Chris ask a question? Is grandma ready to go? Talk to her today and she sounded done. Okay, let's see what comes through for that. I thought I saw one for that. So again, anybody who's already a member, don't feel, you can ask your questions and I will check them as we go. And if you're not a member and you want to ask a question, there's links in the description and you can make a $2.99 donation or you can do a super chat, but I don't know if super chat lets you do it for $2.99. All right, so hold on. Let me like actually think about that question while I do this. Like, is grandma ready to go talk? I feel like there's a lot of that happening too, like a lot of transitioning. Like I can feel that it's time for Sadie to go. Like it's been kind of time for her to go. I'm like, that's why I've been like, I don't know, maybe like I said it to my dad today. I was like, I feel like I should maybe put her down because like she's not living the most best life, like being fucking itchy. She's slower than the others. She's kind of senile. She falls down the stairs now. Like she does crazy shit. Like she'll just be standing near the stairs and then be like, like, but she only goes down like 2 at a time. But then continue, like it's like, oh, I caught myself, but I'm gonna fall more and catch myself. And so she doesn't really get hurt, but it's like it's not good. Like she barks at nothing. She's just very old. Very similar to when we had Stinky at that age. But I have been feeling a lot of transition happening for people. And you should know, yeah. So you got the star ancestors coming through. It says hidden secrets, lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. So there may be some sort of message. Yeah, Earth. I was gonna say there might be something she's about to teach you before she goes. But it's like life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. But the thing says Earth School. So I do feel like there is some sort of wisdom or some sort of lesson that is being presented to you in connection to your ancestors, specifically to your grandmother at this time. But I think like when that starts to integrate or when that like that might be part of it, because I know when we lose people physically in this world, it's a lesson. It's difficult. We learn a lot through that, and it can be, you know, it can be a difficult situation. But yeah, doors are opening. There's a portal opening, and you get to decide what the rewards are going to be. It says wild card too, so I feel like you may have some unexpected things that come about from that transition. It may impact like how you have other relationships, like the relationship with your dad, the relationship with your children, the relationship with life as it is. Anytime anybody in our family passes over, it does integrate more wisdom and hidden messages and secrets that we may not have acknowledged before because they were here or like things have just kind of been as they were. But yeah, you're a part of a team of souls, so call in the support. But again, I'm seeing a lot of this energy. Like I'm seeing this person flying. I'm seeing this energy, which kind of feels like, you know, ascending, which is a good thing. Like lately, I've been like, can I just die? Like, can I just go? Like, why do I gotta be here? But I do feel like it's not a, don't like think of it as something negative or see it as like losing her. Get big picture thinking, visionary, inspired ideas. Like know that you're going to be more connected than ever. Like when my mom and my sister passed over, they started showing up in all the videos, all the orbs. I felt like they're present more now than they ever were when I was like living in the same world with them, like in a physical way. But yeah, I feel like she is going to be called home to the stars, and like there is like a sense of homesickness with her. So it's like she's ready to go. She's ready to go into that portal. She is feeling that call to return there. Oh my God, this says called. She's being called to go there. It's time to step up. She's been training and she has a lot that she's learned, and I feel like she's learned her lessons, but it's like now it's time to pass that torch on to you. And yeah, she's your ancestor, so she's going to be like passing the torch on to you basically and helping you to start to learn more things and heal more things. And I think she's going to be around you for physical and emotional healing on a cellular level. They're also telling you to be tender with yourself, nourish yourself, take care of yourself. But yeah, there's some life lessons coming up at this time connected to that. She is the matriarch of the family for sure. It's going to be a big transition. She's ready to see my mom again too. Yeah, I'm getting that energy of like she's ready. Like she's done what she's meant to do here. And now she wants to rest. She wants to tend to her soul, tend to her energy. And I do have I'm sorry. And I feel like she's also going to be able to right wrongs too, that like sometimes we just can't do while we're here. I feel like there's things that she has to do. Like she's done all she can do here physically, She's got stuff to do in the soul level. Like she's got to go do her next mission or her, that in between time. Like, okay, I've passed over from this life. Let me like close up all the things to do with that. Yeah, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. I feel like she's basically going to be passing on wisdom to you, energy, healing, like, and maybe even coming back through the lineage of your family in another form. Sometimes they come back as a child, sometimes like somebody in your family might have a child, or your children might have a child and she'll manifest through there. But I do feel like the portal is open for her at this time and she's being called to go there. And you'll survive this. New solutions and new beginnings are manifesting for you, but make sure you look under the surface when this does happen. Take action and follow your intuition before it makes sense, because there's going to be things that you're going to learn through this and ways to be able to heal, like karmic inheritance and all of that. But all paths lead home. So trust your intuition, turn your gaze within, and yeah, embrace what's happening. But I do feel like you kind of know it already. Like you're able to see that she's ready to go there, and we can sense that usually. It's something like my mom was sick her whole fucking life, but it was like the last week before she died, there was just a complete different energy around her, how she looked. It was like I knew it was coming, but all the times before, she could have died, should have died, 99% chance she's gonna die, but she never did, and I never accepted it and never believed it. But it wasn't time. So if you're feeling that, trust your gut. Is this lab? Yes, it is. Do I drink coffee? No, but I drink soda. Hello, how are you? Similar story, my sis, 11 years older than me, passed 2 months ago. Got my other sister there a long time when 22 and me 12. My father, a Trinity spirit family could have. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was hard. My mom passed away, and then my youngest sister, like almost a year exactly after that, passed away. And like it's always weird when a child dies, because people often assume like, oh, she must have been a drug addict or blah blah blah. But she had some things that were wrong with her, like muscular things and learning disabilities, and like we didn't know. I was never told that it was a possibility that she could just die, but she did. And so it was a big thing that was like, oh my god. But she's definitely close by. I could totally tell she didn't even jokingly chew me out per usual. Yeah. I think there's a shift in the energy that we feel when they're ready to go, and it's not always the easiest thing to deal with, but it's also like we just have to remember, like I think it's easier for the people who are spiritual, the people who are, star seeds, or understand that there is like, infinite realities, and that we reincarnate, and that there's more to the body than just the body. Like, all right, we live on. Who she is isn't the body, and the body gets old and worn down, and it's like, they'd be happier to, like, they go back to being in the energy of being alive again and creative again, like back to their full energy, like the highest vibration that they can be. And then they can come back in many different ways, because they're infinite. So it's like, even if she does reincarnate through a family member, like your children have a daughter and she reincarnates through the daughter, she could still be present energetically around you as a spirit guide or as your grandmother. And she can also still be present around you right now in a spirit sense, because her soul is infinite. She has infinite realities that she's existing within, different timelines, different versions of reality. And that's even getting proven now by our science. People are finally acknowledging that, like, oh yeah, so like everything is fake. 95, Jesus Christ, man, yeah. When I think about getting old, I'm like, no, that's way too many years. Like, so long. Like, I've been that way since, I think that's all the Capricorn in me, though, because my sister's the same way. When we talk and we're like, oh my god, I can't do another, like, I don't want to do another 20 years. It's like people do like that 5 times. There's so many guys out there tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 out there right now. Same. Yeah, it's like, no, I'm okay. I think that's also, again, that spiritual awakening thing of like recognize, like, because some, like, my dad's like, I want to live forever. I want to become half computer. I want to become like a fucking whatever those, like download my consciousness into a computer. I'm like, no, why why? It's not even fun here. Like, you don't even enjoy it. You're fucking depressed all the time. Like, why would you want to continue on? Like, and my sister gets it. She's like, no, nope. Like, she's like, if I can't like wipe my own ass or, um, like, just weird things, like basic things. Like, if I can't do that, do not keep me here. Like, I don't want to try. I don't want to stick around. I don't want to be just like listening. I'm ready to go. I want to reverse age at 64 today. Well, you also can shift your energy. Like, people never believe my age. And I feel like we can like reverse ourselves physically, but only to so long. Like, we can't continuously regenerate to the point where it's like we never die. But you can help yourself to manifest a younger thing, and just look at people in the world. Like, you'll see a 95-year-old active person still driving, still doing all their stuff, cleans their house, gets dressed every day, does walks, things like that. But then there'll be like a 50-year-old person that is like the total opposite. Like, they're ready to crash out, but it's also like a body in motion stays in motion. Mindset, like, again, I'm aware that like my mindset, my concept of like living a long ass life is not very conducive. Like, I'm like, I probably won't because I don't want to, but people who do, that continue to stay active and keep their mindset focused on being strong and powerful, they can transmute, because everything here is an illusion. When I did the new paradigm, there was a thing that we would do, like, activate my youth and chromosomes. When you look in the mirror, you can literally be like, activate the youth and chromosomes, activate my reversal of my cells, help. And you do regenerate every cell within you, like every 7 years. So you are being born again all the time. So think about it in that way. Like, I'm being born again. I am healing. I am shifting. I am raising my consciousness. I'm reversing the hands of time. I've seen people do a lot of that type of stuff. Thank you. I think my ADHD autistic type of tendencies keep it that way. I never felt beautiful as growing up and all of that. Like, when I got older, I was able to be like, oh yeah, I'm not horrible. But I grew up thinking I was like really fat and ugly and like something was wrong with me. And I still have, like, I know I have issues with how I perceive myself. Like if I haven't taken a shower, put on clothes and makeup and things like that, I feel like an old hag. And the way that I see myself, it's complete. Like, I'll go look in the mirror and be like, oh wow, you don't look that bad. But in my brain, how I think I'm looking at that time is way worse than when I go look in the mirror. And I'm like, oh, like, it's not that bad. It's weird. That's how she was until a few months ago, constantly on the go doing shit. Yeah. It's like, once that energy slows down, it's time for them to transform, and that's okay. It's not a finite resource. We have to infinite resource. We have to let ourselves transform and open up to the other energies. But it is definitely hard. But I noticed the people who are active and keep their mind going, like even just like Sudoku quizzes and things like that, and also watch what they're eating, because now that we're being poisoned by everything on our fucking planet is not the best for a long, healthy life. Like, we have everything in the US is just so messed up. Like, oh yeah, so this is illegal in all the other countries. They literally make things here to send to other countries that are different from what we eat. And it's like, you're already making it here. Why don't you just keep it here instead of making two batches? Batches of shitty and batches of healthy. Keep the shitty batches here and ship out the healthy batches over there. That's not normal, and that makes things difficult for people to but we can bless our food, we can bless our water, we can, shift our energy, our mindset. We don't even have to eat. There's people out there who don't eat. There's people out there who live off of the sun, all that type of stuff. Regenerate the color pigment in my beard, LOL. I'd look 20 years younger. You could probably do that. I've seen people make big shifts in their physical appearance. I've done it. When I left my person that I was in a long-term relationship, it was like I went from being like pretty thick to like Skeletor, but that's because I was trying to lose weight, and I was in a very high manifesting. Like, I had manifested so much stuff. I manifested losing 50 pounds. I manifested a fucking car, a house, like, and then another house, and like all of these things. And then the channels were growing, and it was like I just had everything going very quickly and rapidly, but you have to be careful with what you wish for and be very specific on what you're thinking about. Like I was like, I want to be my skinniest self. I didn't say my healthiest self. So my skinniest self reflected who I was back when I was like a heroin addict and 90 pounds soaking wet, and that wasn't a good look, you know. And then it took me a wicked long time to build back up from that, to like not be like all bones and gross. And I hated the whole way down and the whole way back up. It was like, I always say this to people, like it was never a day where I was like, oh, look at me, I'm perfect today. So we need to work on accepting who we are and loving ourselves and looking at the things on ourselves that we don't like, but try to shift it into love, because it will reflect a better reflection when you accept it and acknowledge it. Like if you're despising your beard, or you're despising the gray, or despising like cellulite or whatever, you're going to amplify it. If you're, I'm so fat, you're going to get fatter. I'm so stupid, you're going to get stupider. But you are the creator. So if we're confident, like I'm reversing all the hands of time here. I'm looking better every day. You know, undoing all this thing that I've manifested onto my physical and energetic body. It will shift. You will receive blessings. It's just my beard. I call my, yeah, I like when the guys have the grays. But I think I have an issue with older men. Snowflakes, silver hair, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please check on how I'm doing with the challenge of bringing together artistic vision and technology. Okay, that's one of two. I don't despise it, just aware of the reality. It makes me look much older. I think that's like something a lot of men focus on, but keep in mind, women, like a man with the gray, women are usually attracted to older men. So embrace it, acknowledge, be like, I'm hot now. I'm in that category of like someone's daddy. I got the desktop computer yesterday. Good job. It feels like a slow process of learning everything. I will need to make music and movies the way people do it now. Okay. Yes, agree with Bridget. Silver Fox status. Yes. All right. So Rick finally got his computer. I was wondering if you would ever do that. So good job that you got it, because that's been a long time. So acknowledge that first. How am I doing with the challenge of bringing artistic vision and technology? I feel like you're doing good with the challenge of at least bringing the fucking technology in. Hello. How are you? All right, so you got the Six of Wands. So I feel like there is an acknowledgement of success here for you. Like you are making the right choices. You are doing the right things. You are stepping up to the plate. You know, like you've stalled for a while in regards to things. So now you're setting the record straight. And you just specifically said, I got to do the music thing. So it's like you're stepping up to that ladder. And it's like, yeah, it's going to take a little bit to figure it out for sure, because everybody, you know, is like, if I get a new phone, it's going to take me like a couple of weeks to figure out all the new shit in it. If I get a new laptop, it's like, ooh, it's all new. So don't beat yourself up for needing to take some time to build your confidence and to set that record straight. But I do feel like they're acknowledging that you are getting that time together. You are setting the record straight. You are going to be making the right changes here. Anything that was clouding your judgment, or anything that is clouding your judgment at this time, or anything you've been afflicted by, I think is more so the insecurities. Like we've talked about this before, like the self-sabotaging thoughts, or like sometimes I feel like you've manifested blocks on your path, and it's like those seem to be clearing up. You're acknowledging that, like, oh yeah, like I am that person that's in control of if this is going to get done or not, or if I'm going to allow this barrier, this block to remain in my path. I think before you weren't always acknowledging it. You were seeing a problem and then being like, oh, but that's a problem, and then not really like taking an action step past the problem. So don't regret how long it has taken. Don't regret how long it will take. Just allow yourself to not be afflicted and speak up in your power. Be confident that you are making your changes. You are doing what you're meant to be doing. You are setting the record straight. You're making the music that you're meant to make. And you have all the tools that are necessary for you to do what you want to do. But don't juggle your value and worth. Don't second guess yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Be confident, sexy, independent. Know that you're doing what you're meant to be doing. And love yourself. Try to keep yourself in check emotionally. Give yourself time to take breaks. Don't overwork yourself or try to do too much at one time. Plant seeds of potential. Take one step at a time. Trust the synchronicity that's guiding you, because I feel like spirit is guiding you. And that's interesting. I got these two cards. They're like, allow yourself to enjoy it. Don't make it don't make it something that's like, oh man, I don't know what I'm doing, or this is so difficult, or I have to do. Like, if you say I have to, we immediately have aversion to having to do something. So be like, I get to. I get to use this awesome fucking thing. I get to do the things that I've been wanting to do. I get to create the music. I get to manifest these like awesome upgrades and all that I've been wanting to do. This is the path for me. I get to manifest now. I'm open and available to receive the signs, the synchronicity, and everything that was on hold or being waited on, I'm now receptive of, and it's now here in the physical material world, and I can allow myself to receive it without the anxiety, without the sleepless nights, and setting the record straight. And it might take us a little time to figure it out, but keep boundaries up with yourself and your mind. Don't mess yourself up in the head. Just when you feel inspired, be inspired. If you hit a brick wall, look for help. And appreciate that you can. Appreciate that you have the tool there, and that any brick wall that you hit can be broken through. You are transmuting, you are being fired up, you are being ignited with information and wisdom and everything that's needed to do what's needed to be done at this time. So take the action, look for the inspiration, and don't let anything block you from continuing forward on your path. I feel like there might be some things that you still get hung up on, or like false ideas that are in the back of the head, things that you may have overindulged in the past about, like, oh, but this is a problem. Let those things go. Let go of the old way of thinking, the old way of perceiving. Let go of the old tools. Like, I'm used to this. Well, we're not doing that anymore. Now we're upgrading, we're evolving, we're trusting. Don't project falseness into things. Don't keep yourself stuck, right? It says, I can't break out of these. You can break out of these illusions. It's an illusion. So don't fall into the temptation of the illusion of like, oh, I'm fucked. I'm suspended. I don't know what I'm doing. This is too much. Enjoy the ride and have excitement about it. But I do think that you are letting go of the right energies and taking the right steps forward. So you will be breaking out of those illusions and the limitations, so you can build something that is stable. And you inspire the creative energy. You're inspired, you're creative, you're doing what you need to do. So trust and know that it's all working out for you. Woohoo! I want a reading at $2.99, so payment need to figure out PayPal, Venmo. Yeah, so in the description box, there's a link for PayPal, a link for Cash App, and a link for Venmo. And there's also something on here for Super Chats, but I don't know if Super Chat lets you do $2.99, but I know the links in the description box will let you do any amount. For some reason, I've had an issue a couple of times with people trying to pay me with PayPal recently. This is another fucking weird thing, right? Like I've been saying all the technology things. I set up my PayPal, I shared it from within the app instead of how I've always done it. And ever since I shared it from within the app, it's been like weird. Certain people I've had to, because they go to try to pay me through the link, I've had to send them an email requesting the money for them to be able to pay me. Otherwise, it tells them that it's not being accepted, or it's like they can't pay me. But every time I've sent them an email, it worked out, and it's like, what the fuck? But it's been one other thing that's just been a block. But it's overcoming. People are still buying, so it works out. Hi, Paloma. How are you? Happy New Year. You met a new guy before the holidays. Oops. I feel comfortable with him, and everything has been going okay. Awesome sauce. Did you post your music anywhere? Rick has music on he's on YouTube and on TikTok. I always see it on TikTok, but I have not been on TikTok that long. So do you have a question about this man, Paloma, this new man? Or do you have a question about the old motherfucker? You better not be asking about the old motherfucker. If you ask about the old motherfucker, the new one will go away. Make the right choice. Let me know if you have a specific question. And if any of the other members are here, let me know. You're open to receive. Okay. Let's see what comes through. And I'm just kidding about the if you do, I just don't like when people get stuck on things that aren't, the best for them, especially when there's other things happening. All right, so we got fling coming through, so I feel like this is an exciting time for you. Ha ha ha, no, about the new one. Okay. Yeah. So I think this is something that you can celebrate. This is something exciting. This is like a new fling. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know about this. I feel like it's also gonna, yes, you're dating. It's gonna help you. Okay? Like this fling, this dating, this is really gonna help you. Like I'm proud of you for being able to do that. Because there's a lot of people who don't do that, especially the people on that fucking journey. You know what I mean? They're like, I can't, I won't, I never could, possibly ever. But then they spend so much time isolated or, broken over and over and over that they're like, you know what, maybe I can. So I feel like you are refining yourself. You are growing, you're evolving, you're becoming like a fine wine. And they want you to go steady. Don't rush it. Like, let's not repeat what's happened in the past. Hi there, how are you? How much? It's $2.99 for a reading. And there's links in the description box or the super chat, but I don't know if super chat lets people do it at the $2.99 payment place. But they want you to go steady, right? Because like I think sometimes in the past, what I've noticed with a lot of the people who've come around for the readings with like the twin flame dynamics and all of that, the speed of things or the intensity of things has added to the issues within that. Like we don't want just a fling. We don't want something to just be like wham bam, thank you ma'am. We want to go slow and steady so that it can be refined over time and that like the climax is worth it, right? Like if you just get jumping into thing and boom 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 boom, it's not as nice or I don't know what the hell's the word, pleasurable if you rush it, right? Like you want to take your time, you want to go slow. You want the morning after to be something that's like, yay. And if you've already slept with the person, that's whatever. But basically, like go slow with the energy. Go slow with the don't be getting hung up on this person. Let's not repeat old patterns. Let's not get love bombed or like give over our power, because a lot of times we meet people, we want them to like us to the point where we forget about, do we even like them? Are they showing up in a way that like it makes me happy, or am I just feeling rejected, or am I feeling like insecure, or am I feeling like I should be more, do more because like they pulled back or they're not talking as much, or like I like them so I want them to like me? Instead, make sure that you keep focused on not getting hung up, not being a sucker, not allowing the energy of like the old flame to manifest or destroy this. Like if he looks at your story or he shows up on the motherfucking street, don't let that derail it. Don't be, oh, that must be a sign to say goodbye to this guy, because I've seen people do that too, where they're like, oh, this guy's awesome, he's amazing. And then old motherfucker pops up and they disappear and then they're back to square one again. So like, I feel like this is a good time for you to be more mature and allow yourself to like learn from it. Okay. Like we don't want to be the sucker. We don't want to get mixed up into old patterns. Let's just take a time to appreciate that we are evolving, we are growing, we are learning about this person, we are healing. Speak up about what you want, speak up about what you are trying to, create in your life. Ask this person their intentions. Make sure that like there's a balance within the energy. Are they pursuing you? Are they appreciating you? Are you like getting overindulged into it? Are you distracting yourself? Are you like, basically just try to avoid becoming a sucker, basically is what I'm getting here, which I don't see that you would be, but it's like, it's a possibility, right? Sometimes we get silly. Yeah. So let this be a muse for you. Feel alive again, feel inspired again. Know that like, yes, you've been hurt many times before, but that it doesn't always have to like go that way. I feel like this person does have a desire to do what's right. They might need help to do that though. And obviously, like when we attract a new person into our life that we're romantically connecting with, a lot of times they are going to mirror things back to us that like we've got going on, right? So if we've been through some stuff, they've probably been through some stuff. They're going to manifest into our world because we have stuff to do together because we're on a similar frequency. So we might trigger each other, but I feel like you're going to help this person get the confidence and the courage to do what they need to do to fix what's within themselves and to be honed in the right way, but not if we become a sucker for them, not if we become a little like crazy about them or repeat old things of the past. We don't want to be artificial. We don't want to come from a fear place. We don't want to allow our judgment to get clouded by our desire, passion, and our excitement and all of that. I feel like basically just allow yourself to enjoy this without overindulging in it or projecting anything that, doesn't feel good, or expect or like think things negatively or project what you've been through onto him. Like, don't expect the worst out of him because we've seen the worst out of others, right? Sometimes we've been played or we've been cheated on. We can feel like, okay, everybody's going to do that, or this guy's giving me the signals that he might repeat what this other person did. And that can also be us self-sabotaging and trying to escape what's actually good for us because we're used to things not being good for us, or our judgment's clouded based out of the old energy. So we're letting go of the old energies. We're not expecting them to do bad things. We're not expecting things to go badly. We're not expecting them to all of a sudden ghost us or disappear out of our lives. We're going to speak up for what we want and be appreciated and loved and supported so that we can be quite the pair, so that this person can be honed in on you and that we can have that free spirited energy. You can enjoy it without getting burned. We don't want any burning energy. We don't want any playing. We don't want to feel desperate. We don't want to get screwed up in the head. We just want to enjoy it. And so the answer is yes, you can enjoy this if you go slow and take your time building up to the climax. So aging like a fine wine with this person is something that's good for you. So appreciate the journey, appreciate the connection, and be a pillow princess. Have a good time. Just, ask for what you want. Speak up. Be confident within yourself. Follow the signs and the synchronicity too. I think Spirit's going to be giving you a lot of signs about things that they're wanting you to embrace, but we might have a tendency to come from old fears or old doubts or old expectations, and that can bring us into toxicity rather than receiving the gifts that are there. So take a shot and allow yourself to be transformed through this, and I feel like it is going to be good and help you to free up your spirit and your soul and to enjoy what's happening in your world. Embrace it. I'm not seeing my comments in the chat. There you are. I see you. There you are. My pleasure, Rick. Had I known, I would have followed you sooner. Yes, he's got a TikTok. He's got a YouTube. Do you have a question, Brent? Anybody with the green name is part of the membership. So anybody else that's just popping in, if you have a question and you're not a part of the membership, I try to, take my members first because they pay to be here every month. It's $2.99 a month. I do it on the second Thursday every month. I try to be here at 9 p.m. Tonight was 9:30. You're all welcome and congratulations. Enjoy it. Have fun. Don't freak yourself out. It resonates a lot. Yeah. It's hard too. It's hard to date. I had someone, there's a guy that keeps messaging me like every fucking, like, it's weird. It's like, I don't even know. I kind of think I know. I'm like, how do I know this person? I think I made like a dating profile years ago, and I think they asked me, like, we connected on there, maybe possibly, but it's like every couple of weeks they say stuff to me, and it's always like, you want to get dinner, you want to go out, you want to hang out, boop, and I just ignore them, but I don't have any reason to ignore them, but I do. And I have other people that I dated before that keep reaching out, like guy from when I was like 15 keeps reaching out. Another guy that's married keeps reaching out. It's like, dude, stop it. You're married. I've been having a good time. Awesome sauce. Pondering. Okay, let me know when you know. Yeah, it's a big step to go out there and let people near you. I don't even go near my family. Like, my dad called me today and he's like, you don't even talk to anybody in your family. Like, I didn't go anywhere for Thanksgiving. I didn't go anywhere for Christmas. Didn't go anywhere for New Year's. I just was here by myself. And he's like, your family loves you. And I'm like, I know, but I grew up in a weird dynamic. Like, I wasn't around people. So it's like, I can't all of a sudden at 40 be the family type. I'm not comfortable in those ways. Like, I was orphaned, right? Like, now I just don't feel part of the family in the way that everybody else does. So, and I was also like, he has his family and my mom had her family. But like, when I was with my mom growing up, it was her family and my stepdad's family, and then my dad and his stepmom and my stepmom stuff. And it's like, there's all these things that I've never really felt like I belong anywhere. So it's easier for me to just be the mysterious stranger and not talk to anybody, go anywhere, or let anybody talk to me, touch me, or hurt me, because that's happened too. Never did a super chat. Oh well, next month gotta run. Okay, no problem. Have a good month with me, myself, and I. Love no hassle time myself. Yeah, I think it's like a self-preservation thing too. Like I'm okay by myself. Every time I come near somebody, they don't end up being what I thought. Or they do though. That's the thing too. It's like when you have a very strong intuition, or you can, you know, perceive patterns and stuff. It's like you know what people are gonna do or what they're capable of, or just like it's like what's the fucking point? I can see where this is going. I don't want to do that again. I think some of the like I keep seeing stuff too about like the star seeds, the chosen ones. I don't like calling us that, but star seeds, light workers, empaths. Like I keep seeing things about like there's a reason why you're alone. There's a reason why the chosen ones don't usually fall in love or have like a love thing, or like even physically have a lot of people near us. A lot of us are our community is online. A lot of us are connecting with people across the planet, and we're spread out across the planet because we're needed across the planet. I haven't seen all the reasons of what they give, but I keep seeing those like titles on videos like, oh, the chosen ones don't have love because, and I just don't click on them because I'm like, well, I'm aware. That's all right. Our alone time is necessary to recharge, yes. It is draining. Lived in a huge, noisy family, had only child, married, introvert, genius. Ooh. I feel that 100, but I have my 2 dogs. Yeah, I got a lot of dogs. And even them are a fucking, like, hassle. It's like, I just don't, like, sometimes I'm, like, overstimulated by them. Because they'll, like, look at me. I'm like, stop looking at me. Because they don't even want, like, they act like they want to go outside, but they don't because it's cold out. So the minute they go out there, they turn back around and they just want a treat. And they're just going to get fat. So it's like, you're just lying to me. You don't want to go out. You just want to go down there to pretend so that you can get a treat and get overweight. And I don't want to do that. Cannot pull away. The group is so resonating. Yeah. I think it's basically... we all connect with each other for a reason, you know. Sometimes it's sad, but it's also, again, like I said, like some of us just know, like we've been through some shit, man. We've been orphaned, we've been alone, we've been through the bullshit, and we have to maintain our energy. We have to protect ourselves. Like we're transmuting all the time too. So even if we're not near people, we're being impacted by them. Like my dad just being in the house 2 floors below me impacts me. Him being here is completely different than when he, like, I can feel when he's not here. When he's here, it's like, but it's like, it's not his fault. It's nothing bad. It's just, I can feel it. And anytime I've been near any person, it's like that. So it's like, yeah, sometimes you just need to be left alone. Karma and Charisma both got straight A's. It was Karma's first university. I'm like, what? That congratulations. That's awesome sauce. I thought you were talking about like some like philosophical quote, Karma and Charisma. I was like, I forgot your children's names. Those are his daughters. That's awesome sauce. Very intelligent. Okay, so we have I lost my son and daughter permanently? Will I ever be able to just talk without being judged? Okay, let's see what's going on there. I think that's kind of fitting into what we've been talking about here too. So like when my dad was saying like, oh, your family loves you, blah, 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 blah. I was like, they may love me, but I feel judgment. I feel that energy of like, they don't understand. They're not going to get it. It's like, it's different level of consciousness or just a different energy. So let's see what comes through. Oh my God, to a T, yes. We are survivors and soon thrivers. Reading the collective, yes. Same with the dad, tension in the house, yes. It's very difficult. I feel like we trigger people, even in our families. So for Brent, like, have you lost your daughter permanently? I don't think anything's ever permanent. I feel like things have been done hastily, decisions have been made hastily, energy has rushed hastily within this situation with your family, with your children. But I do think that we can slowly work on it and like come to places of understanding, of transmuting, of healing, and being aware of like what works for us and what doesn't work for us. I don't want to say that like I would also try to shift the way we're looking at it, right? Like this kind of like the hangman energy. If we look at it as I've lost them, you're going to continue to see that in the reality around you. You're going to continue to manifest that in the reality around you. You're going to continue to feel secluded and isolated. And I get it because I think a lot of us just have that innately within us. We are the forgotten ones. We are the like the black sheep. We are misunderstood. We trigger people just by being us. Like it's like we don't even try. We're not try. Like my dad always thinks I'm yelling at him or arguing. Earlier today, he asked me a question. I was like, I don't know. And he's like, why are you mad? I'm like, I'm not mad. I just do not know the answer. Like, but it's like people immediately get defensive, and I think it's energetic, but I also think there's a purpose for it. There's a reason that you are going through what you're going through with them. So we want to be mindful that we are always receiving and giving back. Like you are always connected infinitely. They are never going to be completely separated from you because they are aspects of you, which we all are. We're all connected. We're all one. There's lessons that they're teaching you, and there's things that you're teaching them. And I do think slowly over time, we can ascend up into a better vibration, or they can become more attuned or more aware. Like I feel like they're going to grow and evolve. Children are usually difficult as they're younger, even into adulthood. They can be difficult. They think that they know better. Boop. They hold on to shit. Like I see people blame their mom or their dad for everything that's going on in their life today. But it's like, I get that they hurt you. I get that life was not so easy, but it is your responsibility as an adult to take and move forward. So at some point, I think adults do start to do that. They start to realize like, okay, my dad is not responsible for who, like everything with me today. And we start to also make other relationships, have kids, experience life in a way where it helps us to shift our perspective and to receive the wisdom of like, okay, like, even if I don't agree with them, it's like it doesn't mean that they did me wrong or they tried to hurt me. I think a lot of children are capable of seeing later on, even kids who go through like extreme abuse and like parents who are like murderous and stuff, like completely. I saw some stuff recently with like the people who will put you in shackles and like cut you up and stuff like that. Even with those parents, right? Some of those children, when they get older, they realize that like they were like that for a reason. There was something that happened to them that made them that way, and they loved me to the ability that they could. They did the best with what they had. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you. You've done anything wrong to your kids or that you've abused them or beat them or anything like that. But I feel like as they grow and evolve, they're going to be able to see those types of perspectives and realize like, okay, like we may not see eye to eye, we may have a difference of opinion on things, but he was there for me in the best way that he could be, in the way that makes sense to him. And I do think it can get better over time, but it does, take a little bit of time for us to get there. We are thousands of miles and continents and oceans apart. My granddaughter will be 15, and I haven't seen her I haven't seen her less than a full day in all those years. I'm so sorry. I know that is very hard to be at a distance and then have grandchildren too. I've never met, well, I met my grandfather, but once when I was a little kid, and that messed my dad up. Like my dad's gone, and then the only thing I've ever known about my granddad, who's his dad, is he sent me some stamps. Like that's all I know of him. So I get it. And I want you to realize too, like with the grandchild. So like I'm in that position where I have a grandfather that I've never met. I don't know him. I know that my dad has issues with him. I know that my grandmother had issues with him, but I don't look at him as a bad guy. I don't think of him as like he's just a horrible dad or he's just a horrible grandfather, or I don't have that perspective about him. It's like he hasn't been present, but it's like I still feel like there's a purpose for that. There's a reason that that's there. Yeah, there's karma there. There's something that needed to be experienced or wouldn't have been, right? Like, and you know that. So it's like these things happen for a reason, but I do feel like slowly over time, this burden and these like illusions and these things that have been kind of like chaotic within the energy can be shifted into a better place. We can see it differently. We can overcome it. Yeah, like we can free ourselves to go over the seas and to open up and to reconnect and to be refined. So a 15-year-old granddaughter, is pretty young. And I feel like parents of a 15-year-old, they're pretty young too. So it's like they still have learning to do, especially in this fucking world, right? Like, so they're learning how to change and shift. And I think that they are also dealing with their own karmic relationships. They're manifesting their own family dynamics. And some that they also feel orphaned. They also feel the separation. So I feel like there's a mirroring here too. So like you may be surprised that like you feel like, oh my god, they don't want to connect with me, they're far away from me, but I also feel like there's a sense of that within the children too, where it's like they do want to have that connection with you, they do want to be able to have peace between the two of you, but like I think this is something that you're going to have to slowly change over time, because things have come to the way that they are at right now, right? Like life happened, but we can set the record straight. Like again, you can make things better. We can help and reach out to each other. So don't be afraid to reach out to them. Don't be afraid to acknowledge this. Don't be afraid to let them know that you appreciate them, that you love them, that you would love to be able to know more about your grandchild, that you would like to be able to, heal the toxicity or anything that's been broken between you, that you're ready to embrace them and connect with them. And I know that can be, daunting or scary or overwhelming, especially if there's been a distance, but we can let go of the things that have been, away from us or between us, and just give it some time. But I do feel like if you want them back in your life, you might want to, slowly to acknowledge that, let them know, use your light, use your energy to heal, take a leap of faith without the fear, without the doubt. Don't expect them to be like, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you, or screw you, I'm not going to spend any time with you. Like, even if you write a letter and send them a letter, I feel like that might be something that can help you to spark something here. Send them a letter or an email and be like, I'm getting older, I've been really thinking about things, I would love to like make things, better between us. I love my family, and I feel misery here. Like I'm haunted by the past, I'm haunted by the darkness that is looming over us. They were here this summer at my mother's family, couldn't even talk about making my will out. It's just her and her mom. They were here this summer at their mother's family. Couldn't even talk about making my will out. It's just her and her mom. I don't know what you mean by that. Like, that might be something that's uncomfortable for them too. Like, they didn't want to talk about the will, or they just didn't want to talk in general. And is the mom part of the issue? Is the mom like mad and angry? And because sometimes moms do that. Like my mom, when she was alive, she told me some fucked up shit, but after she passed away and I finally got a chance to live with my dad, which I never had that chance my dad left when I was 4, and she told me all these things throughout my life that were not right. They were incorrect, they were wrong. And I can see that, and I believe it because I've seen her do it in other ways. She was very, narcissistic and manipulative, and would like come up with crazy ass shit that was not true about my dad. And I've only learned it now because I'd be like, oh yeah, boop, and he's like, that never happened. What are you talking about? But it would be something that she like bounded in my head, made me think. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's hostilities between you and the mother that has been deceptive and deceiving and causing some of this. But I feel like you can also add to that sabotage of feeding into that energy, or feeling like nothing I say or do is going to matter, or this is like a lost thing, like you're saying, like it's like, is it lost forever? Like you're already looking at it as you've lost it, or like it just you can't fix it, or there's too big of a burden, or things like that. So try to slowly balance out the mindset about it, so you can set the record straight. And again, there may be things that are being said that are not right. She might have informed them of stuff that made them make the wrong judgment call and think of you in ways that are not necessarily becoming or correct. And if that's the case, they may be missing out on opportunities too to appreciate you and know the truth about you, that you aren't a horrible man, right? Like the emperor can be a great, stable, providing, like confident dude, but he can also be a control freak. He can be like mean and do all these bad things. I sense that there's been manipulation in the way that they have perceived you. There's burdens that have been placed on them that may not even be reflecting the truth. So you might want to set the record straight, because again, I feel like there's illusions here, and if you speak up, you can set that record straight with your family or with your children. um, I do feel like there's something that they have put in, something has been put into their mind, whether it's from their own consciousness or their mom or somebody else, that is incorrect. And through you reaching out and being, vulnerable and expressive with them, and making an effort, take a shot. I do think you can slowly over time fight for this family to be closer and to heal the things that have clouded their judgment. I feel like there's clouded judgment with the children that they can let go of. But yeah, there's things that you don't know. I feel like there's things you don't know that they think that are not true. All right, but you can adapt to that. You can shift that. And again, you have a lot of karma here. Like there's an influence from a lot of different lifetimes. And I keep seeing the slave, so it's like I feel like they've been chained to a limited perspective. Look at this gossip queen. The people or somebody specifically, or even just their own selves, like they could be saying things to each other, that's incorrect, and that's caused you to be isolated, and it's chained them into a limited perspective about how they perceive you. And we got to clear that dirty laundry up. There's lies, there's manipulation, things that are not true, and you can come out of this stifled energy. But again, it might take some time to set that record straight. Try not to be afraid of setting the record straight, and try not to get angry either. Just be cool, calm, collected, and know that you can transform this. But I don't think it's gone forever. I think it just needs to be refined and changed. And the more that you can be of a good vibration, and feel like, I know I have, like, I know I'm not a bad guy. I know I have a good intention here. I know I just want to embrace my family and love them. That can support you and give you the signs and the synchronicity to show you the right way to reach out, the right words to speak to them, the right way to embrace that, like, feminine, nurturing, receptive energy within yourself, so that you can overcome this duality and this separation between you guys. But this was an experience that you were meant to experience, but there's definitely an artificial thing surrounding it. So we want to set the record straight. We want them to know the truth. And I think that they don't at this time. There's something that's clouding how they see you. She has become her mother without any help from me and my son. My baby brother is the only one in my family communicates with since bloody world went insane. They took the image. I won't. Hi, Melissa. Yes, you can do a donation for a reading. There's the links in the description, and the super chats either way. So I know that I remember when you came around, Brent, you had said that there was a lot of shit that went down with the around like the 2020 timeline. And I, again, that's like what we were talking about earlier, where it's like sometimes our family doesn't get it. They're very limited in their perspectives. They aren't big picture thinking. They're not visionaries. They don't see the bullshit. It's like when you go today and we see all these fires and all these insurance companies just checked out 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago they checked out, and the blue things they're not setting on fire, and like, oh, the water's turned off. Like, those fucking things are just like, they don't even question it. But it's like, we see it. It's like, it's clear as day to us. We fucking acknowledge it. It's like, duh. And that causes an issue, that causes a divide. And it is like being a prisoner or a slave almost to the unknown or to a lower vibrational consciousness. But your children are your children. You can help them to evolve. You can help them to awaken. You can help them to find peace. And I feel like you are meant to. You are meant to connect with this. Like, they are part of your soul. They are your soul family. They are your big family that, you're meant to transmute these things and to help them to see through the fucking control systems, and to bring awareness of power struggles. But we also have to remember that we don't want to, like, shove it down their throat. We don't want to force them to listen to us and, like, or be crazy about it. Like, we want to be mindful of the way that we go about it. And it can be very frustrating, and it can be very like, rah, and we can end up feeling orphaned within how that plays out. But I do believe that over time, they will naturally awaken anyways, and they're going to start to see that you weren't crazy, you weren't lying, you're not weird, that you just have a different perspective than what they've been indoctrinated to believe, and that they're, other people around them haven't helped them to break beyond that, but that's what you've been trying to do. But again, I would just do it like the way that you approach them. I try to leave that stuff aside while approaching them, and then slowly over time we can integrate like some of that stuff in there. But it's like, let's set that stuff aside. Like, I'm still your father, I still love you, I'm still blood related to you, I still have I still want to connect with you, I still want to be a part of you. Like, I don't have to force my beliefs onto you, you don't have to force your beliefs onto me. We can agree to disagree, but we're still family, and we can still love each other and support each other and overcome this crap. And coming from that place, I think, can really help to transmute and transform all the bullshit that's under the surface. And I do think that healing will occur over time. There is love here, and there is healing. We can heal what's been broken. Thank you. The injections, yeah, I know a lot, and I had a lot of shit go on. Like, there's people that were like very close to me that wanted me to get a shot, and I didn't want to get a shot, and they wanted me to get a shot, and I didn't want to get, because I was already sick with the freaking Lyme, and I could see what was going on. And so I was like, no, and that caused problems, and it caused problems for a lot of people, and it also caused problems in the way of like separating us. Like, it caused a lot of people to go into like hermit land, like people who were once connected, people who had relationships, they had to go to fucking hermit land. They had to be like separated and divided, not only just in their mind, but physically pushed away from each other. And that was a part of the grand design, but it also did wake a lot of people up. It did help people to realize like some stuff, sticking them in their house for 6 months by themselves gave them no choice but to like kind of think about things. So some people are awakening, some people are still on their journey there. I think some people just will never be able to see certain stuff, and that's okay, that's their journey. But I do think that over time things will become more clear, and your family is still your family. There's a purpose for all of this. You've passed down your DNA to them for a reason. You've incarnated to deal with the karma for a reason. But I do see that it can heal, but it just might take some time. Go slow. Ignorance is bliss. It is. Like, I said that yesterday. I was like, when someone was like, people need to boop, and like, so much, like, you're never wrong, and all the things that you do is crazy, I can't believe it, because this person gets readings from me like every day, and it's almost like every time I do a reading for her, it comes true, or it's very much like speaking to her about what has already happened or occurred that day. And I was like, it's not always a good thing to be an empath or to be very intuitive, because you do see things that others don't, and you do know fucking shit that others don't. And it's like, I try to, I'm like, okay, so if like the people who I've done readings for, and they're like, oh my God, it's amazing, they're so on point, wow. Or they've come to my events, they've come to things, resonated deeply with stuff that I share. But then when it comes to something like that, they want to ignore it. And I'm like, well, if everything else I fucking said was right, can't you at least entertain that? Maybe, possibly, Bridget's not crazy. But no, they just, some people won't ever. Let me know what your question is, Melissa. And I don't even like saying that either, because it's like, I'm not always right. But I know when I know. When I know, I know. And it's like, I can't turn that off. Like, when I know something, I know something. And then we see the fucking proof of it, but people still won't see it because they're so limited by seeing like the other shit. They want to forget when I split the clouds for her big party, and I know they're embarrassed by that. I get it. I never spoke of it for many years, but the young folk who were there are in their 40s, yeah. It's stuff like that. It's like, I would do that with my mom, I would do that with my dad, but like if I try to do that in front of like my nana and my uncle, well, now my uncle who's always been like, Bridget's fucking weird and crazy, and he went to one of the seminars for that guy, what's his name, the one that he's written a lot of books, and he does like he basically gets people to think in a new way and heal themselves. But he went to one of that guy's seminars, and when he came out, he called my dad. He's like, Bridget was right about everything. Oh my God. But when, I get it. There's people out there who would be like, what, you're fucking crazy. That just happened to happen. I'm like, oh yeah, just happened to happen. Specifically while I'm trying. But, over time, we can hope that they'll wake up. I know some of them, they know and still speak of it. Yeah. Joe Dispenza, yes. Okay. Can I get a reading about my dad? We had a fight. Oh my goodness, everybody. We had a fight and hurt his feelings real bad, but I apologized to him and he hugged and said he was proud of me for how much I've changed and that he loves me. Will this be good for clearing up karma from past lives concerning me with my dad in this life? All right. So it seems like a lot of us have been having some weird stuff going on with our family. He literally just asked about his children. Chris has stuff with his mom. I mean, with his grandmother. I've been I had a conversation with my dad today, which is like the first one in weeks because I don't really see him or talk to him often, even though we live in the same house. You got orphan coming through with peace. So I feel like it is going to help you with that energy, which is the recurring energy for tonight. Like we were talking about this before that question even came in from before. We're talking about how like the starseeds, the light workers, the empaths, we feel like we're not part of the family. Like we feel like people don't get us, or we just trigger people anyways. And it's like, we're not trying. It's just like our existence may bring about some stuff. And that's what we're here to do. That's what we signed up for. It's just part of the package. But I do feel like it's going to help in the way of lessening that sense. It's like he acknowledged you. He gave you confirmation that you are somebody that has grown. You are healing. And I think he's starting to realize that just because you're different doesn't make you less than, or that there's something wrong with you, or that he should be like mean to you or difficult with you, or give you a hard time about stuff, which I think he may have done at different points because he didn't understand, or because of things that were unknown to him. He's a younger soul than you. He has a younger soul than you, and there's a lot of lives that have been lived and a lot of energy surrounding like being an orphan, or like misunderstood, or just not knowing each other on the level that would need to be there for you to have like that really peaceful harmony. So I think it is going to help you to bring more peace, and you're going to find that peace because you've done this before. You guys have already been through these things. You've already lived many lives. You've experienced that experience of feeling orphaned, and we are also having a lot of transmutation happening right now, like all this fire that's going on. People are transmuting things swiftly and quickly. So we want to notice that and to pay attention to that. Use the energy that's available to us at this time for our highest and best, like acknowledge and be intentional about it. Like, help me to transmute any cords of negativity, any karmic debt, any inheritance that I've been holding on to that's been keeping me in a lower vibration, or keeping me from having a healthy connection with my family, anything that's been keeping me poor in my soul, in my mind, in my worth, in my value, so that I can also manifest more wealth and more support in all of the ways. So anything that we've been struggling to manifest, any lack or difficulties within our upbringing, we're leaving that behind. We're transmuting it. And I do think they want you to do some automatic writing, because it's going to help you to like bring words to what you're going through. So like maybe make a poem, make a song, do something that's going to help you, because your ancestors are connecting with you at this time. There's hidden secrets, lost wisdom, and they want you to look a little deeper. So there's wisdom that he is giving to you at this time, and wisdom that you are giving to him at this time through this experience. And it is like, I'm sorry. Yeah, like this great conflict that there's been Mars energy conflict, and he's softening to love. So you can embrace that. You can receive that. And we're righting the past wrongs is what I'm getting for a lot of people right now. So like your family, if you've been having a lot of different, like I literally, like my dad was like, he was all upset, thinking like, do you want to live with me? I don't think you want to live with me. And I was like, no, it's just like, I just don't know what to fucking tell you right now. Like, it's not that I don't want to live with you or anything like that. I'm trying to avoid you. I'm kind of suicidal, man. Don't want to be near anybody. Don't want to bring them down. So I seclude myself. And he was like, oh, I'm just my biggest, it was a whole thing. But, I think that it is helping because he felt better afterwards. I felt better afterwards. We had like come to decisions. So I do think that big family shifts are happening at this time. We are apologizing for things or acknowledging things that have been unsaid. We're acknowledging stuff that's under the surface or things that have been there lifetime after lifetime. We're uprooting the old energies. We're uprooting those conflicts and we're severing through that. And again, with all these fires and things, you're probably going to see a severing of stuff. Like, so some people might come with us and some people might not, but we can make peace with that too. But they want you to look a little deeper under the surface, receive the apology, acknowledge the value and the worth that he has placed on you, do some automatic writing, and go deeper into the potential. So bring the unconscious into the conscious. All right. Yes, we can do a love check-in for you in a moment. Yes, Black Sheep, I'm old soul, and I wonder who he was to me in other lives. I will write for today. That's good. Your dad and you are working together. Yeah. And I think it's a thing that a lot of us are dealing with right now. It's like you had to talk with your dad. Other people are asking about their family. It seems like it's in the collective. We're bringing things that are unconscious into the conscious. We're going through the cosmic ocean and righting the past wrongs. We're going deeper for that ancestral healing. And also remember that you are very empathic and you might be absorbing things that are not yours. So that's why we also want to pay attention to that fire of transmutation. Like acknowledge that the fires are here and they're helping us to transmute, that us to heal on a deep ancestral level. Look, cosmic ancestor, okay? And it says, seed the light by staying grounded. So ground yourself, know that you are not alone. You have people here in the physical that are surrounded with you, that have been with you in other lives. And I do think there's been war between, yeah, there's definitely been war. I'm like, I think because I saw the Roman dude or whatever his name is, the guy that, yeah, this guy, I saw this guy, the ancient Roman man. I saw him before you asked, like, I wonder who he was in a past life. And then I was like, I think you guys had war. And then I got galactic war. So I feel like you and your dad have been at war with each other in other lives. Okay. So it's okay. We can heal that. We're balancing that. Like we're releasing ourselves from those old energies. We're multifaceted. So you are not alone. You have a lot of community here. We may not be physically next to you, but we're spread out all over the fucking planet because we are needed to be. And there's a lot of us going through this at this time. I have to cleanse myself because I do absorb people's energy. It makes sense because we would mostly clash a lot. Yeah. So, and like that severing energy, that Mars energy, like I'm sorry energy. I do feel like this is a lifetime where you're bringing that unconscious war and battle into the conscious parts of yourself, healing your inner child through tenderness, innocence, and recognizing your rare gifts. And he is recognizing those gifts. In another life, at war, he didn't acknowledge your gifts. He didn't give a shit about you. He was just like, fuck you, bitch, you're gonna die. And so I think that's been something you've been chained within. And it has carried into this lifetime to some degree, not obviously like that horribly, but it is something that was, meant for you to come in and overcome. And like I said, you are a starseed soul, so you have multitude of lives that have been going on, but you signed up for major obstacles to rise up through, to heal and ascend, so that you could anchor high vibrations onto the earth. So a lot of us do feel orphaned. We feel like we chose, before we come, the starseeds are like, what's the most fucked up one that I can do? Because that's how we're going to evolve the most. That's how we're going to learn the most. That's how we're going to trigger our awakening. That's we come into crazy systems and dynamics that are really difficult to go through. And a lot of people wouldn't be able to make it. And it can be very, harmful, but we do it for a reason. So you are here to overcome those things. You do have a big family too. So know that you're your father, your blood, right? Your people that are in your physical family, they're part of your family, but there's others out here too. Like I'm a part of your soul family. The people in the live are a part of your soul family. And we've been at war and we've been fighting, but this is a lifetime where we can make peace and we can call on each other and support each other to overcome these things. There's a lot of things that are unknown that we may never consciously fully know, but we're learning and we're going back into our innocence, back into that vulnerability, allowing ourselves to overcome these things that have limited us. And we're breaking those chains from that slavery or that feeling stuck, feeling like nobody gets me. We're opening up more and more, inspiring ourselves and inspiring others, bringing warmth back into this energy or into this world, helping people to overcome this toxicity. And sometimes we're going to hit some rock bottoms, but that's how we crack open and we surrender to the alchemy of life. Interesting, reconciling with a war enemy. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't belong. A lot of us don't feel belongy. We don't feel like we belong because we kind of don't. We're different. There's some, like, but that's okay. That's why we're here. We're here to, like, a lot of us want to leave. We want to run away. We're like, I just want to go home. I hate it here. Or like, I don't belong here. Nobody understands me. But we came on our own to anchor that higher vibration. We came to help change this place to more of a nirvana energy. We're supposed to bring back that love. That's like why today when I was seeing those people be like about people losing their houses, watching their fucking children's bedroom go up in flames and being like, oh, fuck them, they have money, I don't care about them. Like, we're supposed to be here to like help that stop. Like that duality, like we're fighting that. We're helping to overcome, let go that toxicity, to refine this place because it's been bad. People are really bad sometimes, doing some really bad fucking shit, and they don't realize how horrible they are. But we help with the good vibes. We help them to see that they've been greedy. We help them to see that they've been evil. We help them to, build a better fucking foundation so that the world stops fucking destroying itself, trying to escape us. And, it's a big mission, but synchronicity guides you. You will heal, you will grow. And you are a messenger. Look, a new earth, it's happening. So keep holding the vision of the new earth and know that you've done this before and you'll do it again wherever you're needed, but you have everything you need to make your community whole and to connect with your community, your family, and your friends, and to like see beyond. Like, I think that's something too for us, is like people feel like their family is their family, like their blood, like that's more important. But it's like some people that you connect with that are not blood are going to be way more, significant, or we could let them in on a more significant level if we weren't so conditioned to like think like, oh, but I gotta like people are like, oh, it's your mom, but it's like, well, my mother was like trying to murder me, or my mother was consistently destroying my confidence and telling me I'm no good and blah blah blah. Like, people are like, but it's your mom, you should still let her, talk to you every day, you should still let her treat you like shit. Like, people overlook things that like isn't good, and it's like a hollow thing that's not okay. Like, oh sure, that, yep, okay, ignorance is bliss, stupid shit. But we're here to like acknowledge that you don't have to have blood to have a strong connection, but you also can overcome those things that have been the differences, the darkness, the duality that's been afflicting your family, afflicting your relationships within your family. But also know that there's more people out there around you that can help you to get through it. You're not alone. All right. Sometimes strong alliances are formed through battling one another. Yes. I saw a thing about it was like a I don't even know what it was. It was like the world WWE. It was like a thing about WWE, like in the 80s. There was two guys that like hated each other, but they were both the top dogs. And it was like they really hated each other, so it like fit into like the stuff, and they would like try to hurt each other. They had the longest, and like that always seemed fake to me, but apparently they really didn't like each other. But it was like later on in life, 20 years later, they came back together and they're like, I'm sorry, I love you, and like hugging each other, all happy with each other, and they overcame it. But they do have like they were very strong. They manifested a lot of attention and money and things like that because of their with each other, but also were able to overcome it later and have a very strong thing manifest from that. I do believe that that's beautiful. Soul family, yes, to fulfill mission, but how do I know what's my mission? So do the automatic writing that I talked about, and pursue what you feel called to do. And I like, it's the same thing I tell everybody. What do you like to do? And you might not know today because you have not tried it yet, and it may be different tomorrow. Like, there's not one There's not one mission. It's not like, all right, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna come in and you're gonna go like be a doctor and that's it for the rest of your life. That's your mission. You are amused, you are inspired, you are creative, you are meant to do many things. Your mission, your purpose is to become the best version of yourself and embrace, planting seeds of potential to see what the hell grows and what you want to continue to grow, and to acknowledge and be like intentional and also authentic. Like, oh, you know what? I said I was going to do this thing, and then later down the road I decided I don't really like that thing. I'm not gonna fucking keep myself stuck doing that thing just because I said I would do that thing. Or I'm not gonna, limit myself to thinking that my mission is only like one dimensional. We're multi-dimensional beings. We have many reasons and many purposes. So whatever makes you feel alive and inspired, whatever lights your boat up, whatever gives you that fulfillment energy, embrace it and know that it may shift time after time after time, but it's an evolution. It's not like one type of experience. Your passion is your purpose. Your mission is to embrace those things and be your full authentic self, and don't let anybody hinder that, and to continue to heal, be creative, and just be open to whatever flows within, and inspire other people, be in service to the collective. Like, how can I serve others? A lot of us get confused with like, well, how can I make money? Well, we can usually make money because money is energy by being in service. But if we approach it with the like, how can I make money? It blocks it. So it's like, how can I be in service? What can I do to support other people? What can I do to help the collective and the people on the planet, and also myself, right? Like, what's going to make me feel like I don't want to be in service in a way that I fucking hate every day. Like, if I can't stand singing bowls, I'm not going to be like, all right, I'm going to be in service by playing singing bowls. Like, I'm going to do what makes you feel good. And that will bring you to the wealth and all of that. Maybe traveling, try out different things. What brings you the peace and the healing and the energy you like. Yes, you can still send in a question. I'm going to be doing one for the person up here, Songs of Starlight. And then I can do you. Yes, Authentic Muse. Where is she? Hi, can I get a love check-in from my Sagittarius DM that pushed me away recently? Oh boy. Well, there we go. I'm sorry, man. I know Mercury retrograde ended, so sometimes that happens. We also had Mars retrograde. It's been a fucking very difficult, crazy, chaotic time. We have artificial energy coming through, so I do feel like we have artificial the bitch. I feel like, toxic artificial bitch, man. What the hell? I don't think this is necessarily you. I think that there's something toxic here. There's something that is artificial, and I think it's just an influence here. It could be like his mother's influence over him, like a very artificial, there's something very artificial that's influencing him, that's toxic, and it could be him like thinking negatively about. It's more so something that's ingrained into his belief systems, that isn't necessarily, it's like not you. Yeah, there's like something hollow here. It's like, doesn't matter, like how like sometimes serial killers, like men, they kill a bunch of women because they hated their mom so much, and it's like they think that they're killing their mom over and over. Or like mama's boys will a lot of times have a really big hard time being in a relationship. Like it's weird, they have like a toxic situation that comes from their mom, but it's very limiting to other things. And I feel like there's something that's caused him to have like a hollowness within himself, something that has been influenced in a negative way in the way that he connects with women in general, that's toxic and artificial. It's not correct. It's not vulnerable. It's not like, and I think sometimes he may be able to be authentic and good and whatever, but there's something under there that's like taboo. He's been manipulated into thinking incorrectly about women. He may also be thinking like certain things that you have said or done have come off in a certain vibration of like desperation or taboo, or just something that's like, it's just incorrect. Yeah, he's afflicted by something that has been like ingrained into his belief. He may have even had it just innately within him through his ancestral lineage. We got to set the record straight. Like the way that he perceives love is incorrect. So it's probably the way he grew up too. Like I know the avoidant attachment style is very much usually what the people coming in have. Like I know you guys weren't talking for a while. He comes back around. This is what happens. Their their emotions, their desires over time get stronger than their fear, okay? But then when they come back in and things are going well with you and like it's new, they're getting all that dopamine, they're getting all that excitement. It's like it's brand new again. It's not that deep. We're not pushing too hard or too fast. There's no like commitment. There's no pressure, right? Like the desire is there, the passion is there, it's exciting, it's good, it's awesome sauce. But over time, just like anything, it shifts and they have a hard time with that shift. They get a little bit fearful with that shift and then they, pull back or ghost or disappear altogether until like that resets. And it usually takes them a while for that to reset, depending on what happened to lead them to that needing to pull away. And on your side, I know it's something like over time it's going to get easier for you, but it's still something that you are also healing on your side. So like the way that the women usually have is that like when they're connecting with this guy, they're getting dopamine, but they're also getting oxytocin and all these other emotional things within themselves that naturally progresses. The dismissive avoidant people don't get that. They just have like the dopamine thing, but they're not building like the vulnerable intimacy, like safety, like security, like that's scary to them. That's like, I don't want to go there. Like they like the temptation of the passion, the excitement. They want to be there. They like you. They enjoy you. They're hungry for you. They want to, get freaky deaky, but they need to be able to overcome that so that they can start to produce those other things in their brain and heal those differences that are happening. And also on your side, you're still working on doing all that stuff on your side, because basically what it comes down to is both sides have an insecure attachment in some way. Theirs leans them to run away and yours leans to, I want to fix it, how can I help this, what did I do wrong, internalizing it, feeling like, oh my god, what happened, why, like, oh my god. And we want to fix that, and it's going to take some time. So I feel like right now the energy's a little dormant here, but we want to get into like acknowledging on our side, what can we do to overcome anything that we're afflicted with and to like subside any anxiety, any like self-doubt, like you didn't do anything wrong, there's nothing wrong with you, you're not ugly, you're not stupid. There's just stuff that is innately within people from their childhood and from other relationships that causes them to act and be certain ways. Yeah. So he's needing to learn how to be more vulnerable and emotionally mature. And I do think he wants this. It's like they don't enjoy this either. And sometimes they also perceive certain things as like, oh no, I've done something wrong. They take things as like a rejection and you don't even necessarily mean it. Like you could say something totally indirect and they internalize it as like, oh my god, I'm a horrible piece of shit, and that can also make them run away and feel very insecure. But I feel like they do want to fix it. Yes, this resonates big time. I feel he was getting so close to me, so he backed off. Yes. And that happens. They're like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy being near you. Like, they like you, they love you. They wouldn't keep coming back around if they didn't. But they have some issues, they get some stuff under the surface, and it's like it's been there since they were a child, and it's foreign to them. And it's very, draining and detrimental for people to have to go through it. But it can find your justice. You can overcome it. You will find your strength. But it has to be a two-way street, like you can offer your love and your support and your unconditional energy to him. You can, work on your side and keep overcoming all the things that we got. Because, like, I know it's like when I first started off, right, with my attachment energy, which I'm a fearful avoidant because of how I grew up with an addicted mom and a drunk dad and separated and all these chaotic things that went on. So I'm like the both people. There's anxiously preoccupied, there's dismissive avoidant, and then there's me. So it's like I have the flip-flop. But whatever you have is most likely either the fearful one or the like more anxious one, where it's like, I just want to fix this, I want to love you, like I want to be there for you, I'm sorry, what did I do, like and we can like think like we overanalyze all this stuff, like, oh my god, like maybe the last time we had sex something was wrong, like I looked gross or blah blah blah, like coming up with all these crazy thoughts and thinking like all this stuff. But over time, it gets better. It gets easier. And that's basically what can happen on both sides. So I think he is going to be able to get closer to you over time. He does want to be more vulnerable with you, does want a new start with you, does want to be a fucking emperor and make it work, but his anxiety basically got the best of him, so he took off again, which I mean, I remember when you told me he was back. I already knew then that he was most likely gonna, get weird again, because it's just part of the fucking thing. It's just part of the cycle. But we can fix it. You can heal it. We can walk away from that mess and that chaos. But he needs to show up for that with you and put an active effort into that. So I think that, it might take some time, but I do think you guys will get there, if you both put the effort in. But even just you doing the effort on your side to continue to educate yourself about this, do the shadow work, keep reminding yourself that there's nothing wrong with you. You didn't do anything wrong. It's not like all of a sudden he just decides he hates you, or that you're ugly, or something better came along. It's none of those things. Even if he goes off with someone else, sometimes they do that to sabotage because they don't feel worthy of it. So they're like, oh, let me prove to you I'm a piece of shit. Let me sabotage this. Let me go off with someone else. Let me like undo all that I just did. And it's a mask. It's a protection mechanism. It's an avoidant technique to avoid those deep emotions that they have and all the love that they feel and all the things that are going on under the surface that they're just very uncomfortable with. But I do think that they still care. They would like to be there with you. I left him a message and he hasn't replied in over a week, so I let him initiate communication, because I am not going, like right now, the best thing for you to do is to pull back and focus on self, which I know can be very hard in those circumstances. It's like, what did I do wrong? Oh my God, let me fix it. Let's work together. Let's make it right. It's because on your side too. And even the way that we approach them with like being like, hey, you know what? We can fix this can be very touchy with them, because they're going to perceive it as like, oh, there's something wrong with me. They see it as rejection. They're very hypersensitive to thinking, like taking things in a way that's not always the correct way. Like they're very, and they may not say it. They may not be like, oh my God, you make me feel like a piece of crap, horrible. But they internalize it and push away as well. So the best thing is like when they're pushing away and they're not answering you, not talking to you, is to pull back and to focus on yourself and know that they will come back around. But also keep in mind that like if this becomes too much of a roller coaster for you, if you notice that over time it's just hurting you worse and worse, you can decide to break free from that and choose someone else that can automatically be there. Like we don't have to put our lives on hold or keep going through the fucking repetitive bullshit over and over. We want to make sure that like we're being supported and loved and like healthy, because a lot of times the people who are either fearful or anxious will basically like give themselves completely over to this and sabotage their own life, or their own opportunity for a healthy, harmonious relationship, because they care so much and they want to make it work with this person. But if that person doesn't do the things that need to be done, then that person should choose themselves. And even through that, by you choosing yourself, can sometimes be the like magic elixir that helps them to recognize that they're gonna lose you, that they're not gonna be able to continue to do the fucking cycle that they're doing. And if they want to fix it, then they need to fix it, because you want someone to build with, not someone to fucking play games with or ring around the rosy hostility. Like, look, I don't want to play games with you anymore. I don't want to do that bullshit. I want someone who is fucking stable, secure, willing to be there, willing to show up. We both got fucking issues. Let's fix it, not get weird. But they, I think that this person will get that courage, but they again might need to take a little time out to subside the thing, all the fucking crazy emotions that they're feeling inside of themselves and that instinct to run, and they'll come back around. But don't put your life on hold waiting, because you'll wait forever. Like, remember the last time, how long it took? Try this time to think like, okay, like, I know what energy I was in when he returned, right? Like I was getting better. Things were like, that's what happens. It's like you pull your energy off of them. You're feeling better. You're doing okay. they come back because it's like the energy has shifted. So try to focus on keeping that energy focused on yourself and healed without that anxiousness or that like and you will bring them back in faster. But when you do, you're gonna want to be like, speaking to him about this and letting him know that like I can't, entertain the ring around the rosy. But there are videos out there that can even tell you how to talk to him about this so that it's not as detrimental to his inner world, or make him shut down immediately and run away. And I know it can be hard to talk to these people because sometimes you're afraid to say anything because you don't want them to fucking run away again based off of like one thing. But it needs to be said. Even if they come back and you acknowledge something and they run away, they will be back. But also, if that keeps happening, you get to choose like, all right, like is this worth it to me or not? I feel bad for the people like myself and the dismissive. We get like really bad like comments and videos. There's a lot of videos out there to talk about this, like how to talk to a dismissive avoidant, how to talk to a fearful avoidant, boop. All the people in the comments are always like, just fucking give up on those motherfuckers. They're the worst people ever. Oh my God, don't even try it. They're such a waste of time, blah, 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 about them. So that's also, hard for them. They feel like there's something wrong with them, but they're not. Let's see. He calls women his friend's queen, and she replies, king. What the fuck? LOL. He never says things like that to me. Yeah, that's type of stuff that happens. He has said beautiful 3 times in a row during a call, though. That's nice. And so call him out on the ghosting. Well, yeah, man. You want to call him like I don't want to, but you gotta be careful. There's this, I can't think of there's a couple of different people. I did share video onto this community board at one point from that guy that I talked to you about that was a dismissive avoidant at one point and is now not, and he's married and has kids and all of that. He makes really good videos about the dynamic and helps you to understand it in a way that's like, oh wow, this is what I should do. And then the personal development school, she, I think, has a video specifically that lets you know, like, you can even, like, there's other people out there that make them too, but you'd be like, what's the best way to bring up something to my dismissive avoidant without, like, triggering them to run away? Because there's certain ways to word it. Instead of being like, when you, is like, letting them know how you feel instead of being like, I really like when you are in my life on a consistent basis. Like, you don't have to be here all day, every day. I don't want to be crazy or anything like that. But, whenever I feel like things are going really well, I'm so happy and content. And I just love spending time with you. And then sometimes it feels like all of a sudden out of nowhere, you disappear and it really hurts me. And I want to know, is there something I've done, or it makes me think that I've done something wrong, or that I've made a mistake, or it's like somebody else has come along that's much better than me. And it brings out all my insecurities. And you can just be vulnerable and expressive and also mindful of the way that we acknowledge it or say it to them, so that we're not just pointing like, every time you fucking ghost me, it's a puppet debut. Like, we don't want to be like that. We want to be mindful of the way we're approaching it, and acknowledging like, this is what I like, because sometimes they don't understand that. They don't have the same likes. They don't have the same desires. They're not like, they don't need someone to call them every day to feel secure. Like you needing to, and that's the thing too with these people, is you're going to have to find a middle ground. Like, they may not want to get married. They may not want to see you every single day of the week. They may need different things than what we might want. So that's another reason to talk about this, to be like, hey, yo, so like, what do you see for your future? Like, what is it that you're hoping for? Because if they don't want to get married and have kids and live with someone full time, and you do, let's not waste our time with that person. But also, like, we can talk to each other and be like, oh, so I would be so happy and content if, like, I just got to check in with you, like, a couple times a week. Like, I have no pressure. It doesn't have to be a set time every single, like, certain day or whatever, but just to know that everything's okay. Like, I worry when you disappear, and I internalize it like I did something wrong, and it really eats me up inside, and I miss you the whole time that you're gone, and it's just difficult for me. My mind runs in a million places, and I start thinking about everything that we've said in our last connection, or the time we talked, and what did I do wrong? Why did he disappear? Non-ego bruising, yes. Hi, can I get a reading? Yes. So tonight is for the members with the green names, but the membership's $2.99. So people can either do super chat or a $2.99 donation through the links in the description box, and get a reading that way, or join the membership. I go live second Thursday of every month at 9 p.m. Or I could just pull like one or two cards for you for free. But yeah, if you want like one like I've been giving with her, it's $2.99, or membership for $2.99 donations. Yeah, not too accusing. And there is, like I said, there is a specific video out there, like specific ways to talk to people that have that, because wording. I told a girl, my lips are wicked chapped. I told a girl, I was like, bop, boppity, boopity, beepity, bop, like all this shit, right, about this, because she's been dealing with someone like that who has an avoidant tendency, comes and goes, disappears, he ghosts, and I was like, yeah, so make sure that like when you talk to him, you don't like point the finger at him and like ba 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 ba, right? She wrote him a fucking like novel and was like, "You motherfucker, Bubba!" Like she tore him apart. Told him that he might as well be gay. Told him he was like such a piece of crap, like such a waste of time. Tore the guy apart. But you know what's fucking crazy? Since then, he's been completely different. He's been trying really hard. He like apologized. But there was also other parts of that too. Like she was also doing things that were sabotaging it. Like, oh, I want to spend time with him, or I want him to call me, but would like block his number so he couldn't call. So she was sabotaging a lot of that stuff with him and doing weird shit. And she had been doing that with other people too. But it was like, it was crazy. I was like, yeah, and I don't even know if he's a dismissive whatever. I just felt like it's a good idea when you're trying to tell someone that you're upset to, not be mean to them. But her being mean to him worked for her, because he's told her he loves her. She's going to visit him where he lives. All these good things have happened since then. But I did tell her to speak her truth. So that was her truth. And I would have worded it a little bit differently, but I can still see it bothering him now in the cards when I do readings for her. They're still like, oh no, she thinks I'm a piece of crap. Thank you. I think he does want kids and even worries he'll never be a dad. So yeah. So just, try to let the thing evolve naturally. If at some point you feel called to talk to him or connect with him or reach out to him, you can, but make sure it comes from a confident place, or a place that's not like feeling really anxiously led to do it. Just try to be in your power as much as possible. No fears, no anxiety. Like if you feel like, you know what, I need to say something to him, you can, because what he's doing is not okay. And if you acknowledge that and let him know that, he might be able to change that. But we can let him know that without being horrible to him, right? We don't want to be the bitch. We don't want to be that evil doer. Just let him know. Like, wow, like this hurts me. Because that's what she did. She was like, what the fuck? Every time, boop, you just fucking disappear. It makes me feel like boop. And I'm so fucking sick of this world with all these people. It was long. And I was like, oh my God. But it did shift a lot for her, just from speaking that truth and letting him know, instead of letting it go under the fucking thing. Like, if we don't tell people what's going on with us and how they're treating us, then we're allowing them to continue to treat us in ways that are not the best. Okay, yeah, give them time for now. But if at some point you feel confident and like you want to say something, don't feel like you can't. I want people to do what they feel guided to do. All right. So, do you have a specific question for the reading? I am. Thank you very much for donations. You're welcome. And I'm sorry that he did his pulley back thing again. I know it's not easy. It's a fucking crazy up and down roller coaster, fucking horrible shit show. Pave a new path. Be the leader that you wish you had. Go down the direction you feel guided to go. Yes, you do have a specific question. What are GS plans or next steps in our connection? All right, so let's see, what are the plans or the next steps in your connection? Oh, wow. All right, so immediately I got the 6 of Cups that popped out. So I don't know if you guys aren't talking at the moment, or you've had any difficulties within your connection, or if there's been like like maybe we've had some arguments, or maybe things haven't always been so easy. Maybe we get frustrated with each other. I do feel like he wants to overcome any of this, like any frustration or difficulties, or just like there's almost like I want more warmth. Like the Six of Cups connects to like our inner child. It connects to like our, like we want to reconcile. We're feeling like all of this nostalgia. It's like I want the good things in life. I want the warmth. I want to be reminded of like the butterflies in my stomach and all of that. But it came out with the Queen of Swords, and it was the Queen of Swords in reverse. So I feel like if there has been any like fears or doubts or insecurities or things like that, or maybe even a break within the trust, I feel like they want to overcome that. They want to be able to come closer with you. They want to feel that warmth and that nostalgia again. They want to have like joy and passion in their life, to feel safe and secure. And I feel like there's been something that's been surrounding them, or surrounding this connection, that has been like, blocking that. And it may be your energy or their energy. I feel like there is something here where there's something that's like trust wise. We're back in communication after a while. Okay, yeah. So it's like the trust here, it's like I want your trust. Like I'm afraid you're not going to want me if you see the truth. So it's like I want to show you who I really am. I want to be my vulnerable, authentic self. I want to be like who I used to be when I was a kid, and I didn't give a shit about what anybody thought, wore what I want, did what I want, said what I want. Wasn't any of this like, shit that we have put into our heads as we grow up of like, I'm such a piece of crap. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why does like, all the insecurities, like my body is no good and I'm so stupid. I should have a better car. I should be further ahead. All the things that make us feel like we're inadequate. And I feel like he wants to be able to embrace his fullness with you, and have trust from you, and be like warm and gushy and all of those things, but he's having a hard time with this. Okay, yeah, he wants you, look, I said warmth specifically. I miss you and your warmth. So he wants to be able to forgive and forget anything that has happened, or anything that's been created between the two of you, where there's been anger, there's been darkness, there's been insecurities, or indecision. Maybe he had a hard time making decisions before, or he was blocking his own. Yeah, I feel like he could have been juggling things. He could have been, maybe entertaining other people, or just basically not fully open and available. Obviously, if you weren't talking, you come back into communication, that would be something that would be a block. But I think it's like also a manifestation of things that's within him. Like, I want to be the one that stands beside you and supports you in all that you do. But I think what's part of his problem is he needs to be able to support himself fully too. Like, feel good about who he is. Like, break free from these limitations of thinking like, oh, I should be further ahead, or I should have more money, or I should have a better body, or like all of these things that like all of us have. But he is trying to do the right thing. So I do think that there is transformation happening here. It says, I swear I didn't do it with innocence. So I feel like he hasn't intentionally tried to cause these issues, or intentionally tried to create distance between you. He doesn't want to have like difficulties. He wants to be able to be healthy with you and find a balance in life and love, right? He's like, I hate when I don't know what's going on, right? So he's like, I don't like when I'm not talking to you. I don't like when I don't know what's going on in your day to day. And I don't want to play games with you. I don't want hostilities, but I don't know if I'm as strong as you think I am, right? So it's like, I don't know if I can be the man that you want me to be, or I think that you want me to be, because I feel like you would probably be happy with him regardless, right? Like, a lot of times guys put themselves into a place of thinking like, she's going to want this and that. Oh my God, like I got to be able to provide her all of these things and be this way and do that stuff. And it's like, they put their own things on, and they can't fill their own expectations, but they think it's someone else's expectations, but they put them on themselves. And I feel like that's something this person's doing. They have a lot of expectations on themselves that they can't fulfill, because like they're just not even reasonable ones that they have. It's like, oh, I should be the most amazing person in the planet. And you are inspiring them. They do want commitment. They do want passion. They do feel excited with you. But yeah, I think that's something basically that's going on with them, is they need to fix what's been broken within them. They need to surrender these fears, these doubts, stop self-sabotaging, stop being like undecided about themselves. Yeah, his own expectations, right? Like, and it's like men have this from the day that they're, everybody does. Like, we grow up and we're like, oh, this is the best body on the planet, and then we're gonna put it on, and we're gonna put it through all these fucking operations and Photoshop, and then we're gonna look at these fucking things on TV. These people who go off into these amazing fucking like castles, and they have everything they could ever possibly need, and they're so happy dappy in love. There's no issues whatsoever. They got the perfect fucking body. They got this and that and all these things, and we have all these like ideas and things in our brain that we feel insignificant by. Even our food is fake on TV and stuff. It's like all this conditioning to make us look at stuff and be like, oh my God, I don't compare. I'm such a piece of shit. And our expectations for what our 10 of Pentacles is becomes very like out of reach. So this is ultimate fulfillment. This is a legacy. This is like, I want to have a legacy. I want to have something that I'm proud of. I want to feel amazing and secure and confident in all that I have. But this like perspective needs to come to an end. This cycle needs to close. He needs to realize his power and recognize that all of those things that we are often aiming for are unreachable. They're unattainable. And he just needs to acknowledge that he is very powerful. He is, capable of being who he wants to be just by acknowledging that he's valuable as he is right now. But I do see good things from him. I do think that he wants these things with you. He's just working on how to stop comparing himself to others, or stop, putting all these big expectations on himself. So, try to build him up a little bit too, like give him that boost that he might need. Let him know once in a while, like how you see him as being such an amazing man. Like, oh, I love your body. You're so amazing. Like, I think you seduce him in his dreams already. He does not like distance from you, but he's definitely got a lot of desire for you and does not want to have any hostilities. He's got some guilt and shame and things like that he needs to overcome. So I think the more that you can acknowledge him and like make him feel comfortable within his own skin, the easier it'll be for this relationship to evolve. But he is definitely working a lot on himself, definitely desiring some sex time, and acknowledging he's been irresponsible and he's made mistakes on his path. I also feel like you guys could have connected in so we got ancient Egypt and the desert. I feel like this could be a past life connection as well. High priest and high priestess energy. This may be very significant soul connection. Whenever I get a lot of people who come, and whenever I see the high priest, high priestess energy, that lets me know that they most likely have like a soulmate connection. So this is my past life. Oh, look, marriage, soulmate, past life energy. I feel like you guys have been together in many different lifetimes, and sometimes that causes us to have some difficulties in this lifetime, some karma and things to overcome, beliefs to navigate, stuff that is difficult. But this love began another lifetime, and it will live on for more. So also remember that most of the time these people, if you have that soul connection, they're going to mirror things back to you. So also acknowledge in yourself, where do I feel hollow? Where am I feeling regret? What do I need to let go of? Do I have insecurities? Where are my toxic beliefs about myself? So I can start making the choices that are going to resonate for me to heal and to evolve and to grow and to shift, right? So like read between the lines. Like everybody we meet is a mirror in some way. They have something that we're meant to experience because that there's a vibrational match at that moment. So him being in your life, there's going to be things that he's teaching you and you're teaching him. And the more confident you can be, the more, healed you become with your belief systems and being transparent and vulnerable and expressive and all of that, the easier it'll be him mirror that back to you. So if he has a hard time being like vulnerable and speaking up and telling you like, you're so beautiful, I like you, papa da boop, the more that you can do that, I think the easier it'll become for him. He'll mirror it back to you. You guys will be quite the pair. But it takes some time. TikTok, as I said, time takes some time to get there. So if you have difficulties with that stuff, like being vulnerable, and I do for myself, sometimes I have a hard time, like with the whole dating thing. It's difficult, like being vulnerable, telling people, oh, you're so nice, you're handsome, like I like this. It's awkward for me because I didn't grow up with that type of stuff. But the more that like we can do those things and reach out into the duality of the things that are around us, the easier it's going to be for us to refine stuff in our lives, the easier it's going to be for us to receive those things in our lives and to come out of any limbo. So they're like, yes, the answer is yes, Be that free spirit. Open up your heart. Acknowledge you are beautiful, you are amazing, you are smart, you are confident, you're capable of anything you want to do. You have everything available to you in this moment. And whatever we're creating in our reality, whatever we're dealing with in this world, we can acknowledge that there's the opposite of. So if like things have been struggling financially, we know that abundance is on the other side of that. If we feel like we've been dealing with people who are immature, we know that people can be very mature. If we feel like we've been dealing with like toxicity and this is like, oh my God, hell on earth, we can reach the nirvana, because we live in a dualistic world. And I feel like you've been in between, and it's like, it's time to acknowledge, like, if I've been on one side, if I've been in sadness or darkness or hate or fear or lack, anything like that, I can set the record straight and go to the other aspect of it. I just have to allow myself to do it by going over there, right? So basically just allowing ourselves to acknowledge that it is a choice. Everything is a choice. The more we're gratitude based, the more we are acknowledging within us what we want and feeling worthy of it, the more we can reprogram the beliefs and all of that, the easier it will be for us to start making that conscious choice within our mind to attract all the things that we may have been blocking out of fears, doubts, and lies that we've been fed on this planet. But yeah, forge the path, be your own leaders here for you too. So be the leader that you would like to have, and be big visioned. Be a visionary in your life. Like when you go to bed at night, visualize what is it that you want out of a relationship. Like what does it look like, taste like, smell like, feel like to have a harmonious relationship? Where do you want this relationship to go? Where do you want to see yourself in the future? What kind of house do you want to be in? What kind of car do you want to drive? Like see yourself feeling it, imagine like you've already got it, and you will continue to attract it. And also know that you are worthy of these things. But I think you guys are both just working on healing and expanding your vision, but putting yourself into the place of, I am able to have that vision, like that, like I shouldn't feel separate from it. There's nothing like inadequate about me. I think most of us are doing that. We are all remembering that there's something that we are innately given by being alive. There's a purpose for us here. We are beautiful. You've done this before. You have a gift. You are here for a purpose, and trust where you are being led, and open yourself up to receive the blessings and birth into life the things that you want to give, to receive. Yeah, you are the artist. So yeah, hopefully that helps. I don't know if anybody else had any questions. I did Songs of Starlight. I did Chris. Oh, Tarot with Stars. I want to ask if I will be able to travel this year. Okay, so I'm going to let her know is at 216. That is my Monica. Will I be able to travel this year? You are welcome. Thank you. Woohoo! Oh my God. So we got the Nirvana and Afflicted card, which again, I think is kind of speaking to like the energies I was just discussing in the previous energies of like, there's duality, there's good and bad, right? Like, wow, Nirvana and Afflicted are pretty like opposing energies. And then we also have the Closet. So I feel like this is something that's come through for you recently too. I was like, I'm getting that energy of like, you've got to come out of the closet. You've got to come out of your hiding spot. You've got to put yourself out into the world. Like, you got to take the chance. You got to make the decision. You got to take that leap. Like, what are you hungry for? What do you want? What are you ready to be submerged within? Okay, do it. Just speak up, know it, own it, like create it, manifest it. Like start looking at like, where do you want to travel to? Just like I've said to other people, like, okay, what does it look like, taste like, smell like, feel like? Get very clear on it. Like, look up the places online. How much does it cost for me to go here? How much will it be for me to do this? Like, wherever it is, and start small now. Like if it's something big that you want to do, try to start small with like, okay, I'm gonna like, take a little trip somewhere that's not so far away, that's not so expensive, but it's like I'm getting myself into that energy of taking action and traveling. May not be fucking across the planet, but I'm coming out of the fucking closet. I'm not going to be the hermit. I'm not going to sit at home just thinking about it. I'm not going to feel like I'm missing out on anything, because I'm actually going to be in the world. And when you go out into the world with that energy and you're taking those action steps, you might meet somebody that's like, hey, we just hit it off and I really like you. And guess what? I'm going to be traveling and I want you to come with me. Like things like that can happen, but we got to stop thinking that they can't happen or they won't happen or not for me. No, nobody's ever going to want that to be with me. You will block those opportunities if you don't get out there and start allowing them to manifest. So, like I said, start taking little baby steps, take it slow, start looking up what it is that you would like to do and where you'd like to do it, how much it's going to be, and like set up a time thing for yourself too. Like, okay, like I know where I'm going, I know where I want to be, and I want to be there by this date. So I'm going to need to have this done by this time, and like set yourself some deadlines and put aside the money that you're going to need for that. Put aside whatever things are going to be necessary, like if you're going to need a passport and stuff like that. Start making the plans for that. But when you put things on paper, it's much more likely to happen than if we just like think about it or kind of want it, but we're not very clear. Like, I want to travel this year. Well, where to? Where do you want to stay? What is that going to look like? How much does that cost? What are you going to eat while you're there? Like, and then envision it. Envision like you're already there. Like when you go to bed at night, you can meditate and be like, wow, I'm on this fucking awesome vacation and I'm on the beach and this is what I'm wearing, this is what I'm eating. And we also have read between the lines with appreciation. So like we may not be there today, or we may not be traveling exactly to the places that we want to go, but appreciate where you are right now so it's easier to go to other places. So it's easier to manifest, awesome destinations and awesome opportunities and people who are going to want to go there with you, new friends, new experiences, setting the record straight that you are a manifester, you are a healer, you can go wherever you want to go, you can do whatever you want to do, and it's not difficult, but we got to let go of any fears, doubts, or insecurities that are blocking us from it and start reaching out into the world and getting out of our house and out of that limbo vibration by being very specific with what it is that we want. Like I saw something the other day from my memories like 10 years ago, and it was crazy because I was living in the basement with just a little, like there was nothing there, right? We just a little fucking basement room, one big room. And I had a kitchen table on one side of the room and a bed on the other side. And in the kitchen, I was like getting a lot of stuff. It was like, oh man, because I had gotten my certificates for Reiki and this and that. And I was getting crystals gifted to me. And I was given a drum. And I was given that. I had so much shit. And I was in one little room. And I was like, I took a picture and I was like manifesting that in my next place, I'm going to have a whole room dedicated just for my stuff. And the next place that I went had a whole fucking room. And then this place after had a whole fucking room for my stuff specifically. And it's like, oh my God, I did it. And I did it quickly. It was quickly. So you, again, want to set that record straight. What is it that you want to do? Very specific. I want a whole room. Like I knew I wanted to move. I knew I needed to find somewhere I could go with the dogs. I knew I needed like to be able to afford it. I knew it needed to be like, a situation. I didn't even have like big like I wasn't like, oh, it has to be like a big house with all these extra rooms, but that's what ended up happening because I wasn't attached to the outcome. I wasn't like, oh my God. I was just like embracing that, it can happen. I'm open to it. I'm receptive to it. And like very quickly, it all came. And so try to, be clear on what you want, expect that it's going to happen, but not hang on to it in a way that's like detrimental, because sometimes our anxiety will keep us from the receiving of the things that we've been trying to create. I made myself get out and go to the beach to catch the sunset today. Awesome sauce. Found some sweet agates and Apache tears and had a good meditation. Awesome sauce. You can't get too specific. Yes. The Neville Goddard thing is like, he's a guy that a lot of people use his technique to manifest, and people manifest some fucking crazy shit like very quickly. And it's like when you're drifting off to sleep at night, and it's crazy because like last night I heard a thing. There was a girl that like she had a dream at that, like it was at that time, like in between, like I'm almost asleep, so it's not even like a really dream, but it was in that time she saw something, and then it was like she saw a person walking in the woods, and end up being murdered or killed themselves or something. I don't know exactly. She didn't give all the details about it because it was like it was an actual thing that happened, and she led people exactly to the place because it was like she saw it before they found this person, and then they were searching for him. And she's like, "Oh, go check here." The person went. He was there. So she's been trying to like not be very like specific about the details because she doesn't want to get like mixed up in that and be have the cops be like, well, how do you know? But yeah, she did that at that moment. But also the Neville Goddard thing is at that moment when you're in between consciousness and unconsciousness, visualize what it all looks like and tastes like and smells like and feels like you already have the happy ever after, like you're already at the destination. But if we're not clear with like, okay, I need this and I want that type of thing, like not even I want, it's like I already have these things. What does it look like? What does it taste like, feel like, smell like? To have those things and then know that it's coming. But at that time specifically is a very powerful time to do that, but also to receive messages and to connect with spirit. That's when a lot of times people will see like, spirit guides or hear stuff, see stuff, have like a premonition, a dream of the future, something that's going to happen to them or some sort of message from spirit. But yeah. Okay. Can I ask about finances and what can I align to get into that frequency of money for my finances to improve? Sure. Ah! It's so weird. I saw a fucking ad for what do you call it? Chapstick. And I was like, why am I seeing a chat? Because like the fucking ads are pretty on point. It's like you think about something, they give you that ad. You say something, they give you that ad. But it was like I saw one for chapstick, and it was like it struck me as weird, and I was like, I don't need that. But today, nowhere I feel like I fucking need it now. I was okay earlier. I did go out into the cold. Maybe that's part of it. All right. I'll send donations. Send it. I dreamt my person before I met them. Oh yeah. You told me that. That's awesome. See, that's one of those things. All right. Can I ask about my finance and what can I align to get into that frequency of more money? I feel like something might have flipped, but this one popped. Oh, goodness. All right, so we got a monotonous routine, missed opportunities, bored and dissatisfied with the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is like, oh my God, I don't have what I want. I'm missing out on all the awesome sauce. And I feel like they're wanting you to shake up your routine, okay? Like whatever you've been, because we often do this. It's like we start to do like repeat over and over, especially when you have a 9-to-5 job or whatever you got going on in your life. You go to that job, especially with the Monday to Friday 9-to-5. It sucks because it's like I have to do that, right? I have to get up, I have to go there, and I have to come home. But you don't have to. First off, like I always like that's one of my things. Like anytime people are like, "You have to," I'm like, no, I don't. I quit right now. Goodbye. You don't have to do anything. You have an opportunity and a chance to change that. Like you literally could quit and go there tomorrow if you choose to. So also make sure you hold on to that power of recognition of like, I don't have to do anything. I get to show up and do what I want to do in my own terms when I want to. And when I don't want to anymore, I'm not going to. Also in this life, he has some Nordic genes, Viking. Oh, cool. So I feel like whatever you've been doing on a regular basis that's kind of just like monotonous and routine, you need to stop because you're bored and dissatisfied. And I also know that like part of this might be impacting you too, because like I know you like him, I know you want to be with him, I know like he's on your mind, and I think that can add into people's, yeah, look, I just saw single. Being single or liking somebody and wanting to be with that somebody can also impact how we feel like we're missing out. I want to be with that guy, but I'm not with that guy, so I feel less desirable. I feel less awesome sauce. I am dissatisfied. I'm feeling alone. I'm feeling sad. I feel like a little island. I'm all by myself, and it's unknown. why, it's like unknown, like what's wrong with me, why isn't this manifesting in the hierophants here too, so which is like that higher level commitment. I feel like they want you to take a higher level commitment to yourself because there's a reason why you're by yourself right now, and it's not because you're ugly or stupid or not valuable or like he just don't like you. It's because there's something you're meant to be doing right now that is going to help you to get into the right vibration that aligns with receiving all the things that you feel like are not there in this moment, all the missed opportunities, anything that's dissatisfaction, any drama challenges or things that have been going on. You need to come more into your own value and recognizing, like, be in your integrity and your value, acknowledge that, allow yourself to take that next level commitment to what you want to do. Like if you're unsatisfied with things in your life or unsatisfied with the way that things are playing out, it's like, okay, what can I start to do for myself that's going to help me to shift that? Because I feel like you've been, there's just been a lot of things on the planet in general that can make us feel like we're not enough, or we don't have enough, or there's something more that we should be doing or having. Yeah, Three of Swords. It's like, oh my God, I'm sure sad. And I get it because me too. But terminations, unpleasant outcomes, licking your wounds. I feel like basically it's like there's just this like sadness or desire. It's like something's missing. Yeah, it's basically this. It's like I feel like I'm missing something and I want that something. And I need that something to feel better, but you don't need that something to feel better. I was talking about missed opportunity today. Yeah. Um it's like you don't need to be with someone else to be like awesome. We don't need him to be like all of a sudden available and ready and commit to like fulfill you, because if that's the thing that's going to fulfill you, it's just as easily taken away down the road, right? Like, all right, maybe we get like he comes over and he's like, yeah, so you know what, I want you to move in with me, I'm very excited, let's go, I'm ready for the full on thing. And you're like, yay, I'm happy, I got my thing, here we go. But later down the road, he can take that away just as easily. Or you might even find that because you weren't already fulfilled beforehand and you weren't already like, yay, everything's awesome sauce before he did that, that you might even go back to being unfulfilled and dissatisfied while with him. Because we are the one that determines our, like, what's going to fulfill us, how we're happy, all of that. Like, yes, we obviously want to have a relationship. Obviously, we want to have an ability to take care of ourselves. We want to feel like good about what we're doing in the world. But like sometimes I think people can place too much of an emphasis outside of themselves about those types of things, and then that's just setting themselves up for bad things. It's setting ourselves up to basically sabotage ourselves or end up in a way or a place that isn't actually what we thought it was going to be. It may be there for a while, but then eventually like we'll be like, oh wow, this is definitely not what I thought it was going to be. So I think they're wanting you to start brainstorming and thinking about like what you can do to make yourself feel totally valuable, totally aligned, feeling loved, supported. What new thing can you add into your life? Maybe there's somewhere you want to go, like something you've been thinking about, maybe something from childhood, like childhood dreams, working with youth, maybe even working with kids could help you to heal your inner child or to inspire you in a way that's like, what is it that like is missing? Like maybe it's some sort of like you could go do yoga, or you could go do a paint class, or you could do something that's going to get you out of the house and into a community of people, or just into something somewhere that's something exciting for you, that's going to help you. But I feel like there is something that like you want to have a more fulfilling experience in your life. Like we don't want to be just working and then at home and just working and then at home. I feel like there's something that they're wanting you to find for yourself that's going to help you to feel more inspired, more creative, more supported by yourself, and like having a good time, right? Yeah, single, sexy, confident, independent, Empress energy, so that the universe can show you how amazing you are and give you like those, because like you asked, like, how do I know what my mission is? You got to go out there and try some shit, right? Because we don't know until we try all the things. So what is it that you would like to do and try and go out there and do those things? Because that's going to help to bring in the stable, committed king energy that can mirror that. Like when you're single, sexy, confident, independent, you have your own things going on. You get the thing like, oh, I got this going on, I got that going on, I'm kind of busy, I'm fulfilled, I got like stuff that I value, I'm excited about, like I'm not emphasizing like a need for you or a need for this because I'm already good here. That's going to attract in that ability to work together with others, and that's going to help you to heal the stuff under the surface that has been keeping you in this place of being like this hermit of like I'm alone, and I feel blocked. I don't have the money I need. I don't have the abundance I want. It's going to help you to transform and be that says she's very like she's one away from that 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is a perception. 10 of Pentacles is what it is to you. Like if we're at the 9 of Pentacles, it's like we're one away. So what is that one pentacle? For some people, it's like I want a husband, I want to be married and have a whole family. And for other people, it's like I don't want a husband. I want to be able to like travel the whole world. Other people, it's like, oh, I just want to be able to like be by myself in my little garden all the time. Everybody's 10 of Pentacles different, but I think they're wanting you to go out and explore and find like yourself in this energy, and then you get to again determine and let it be known to the world what it is that you want your 10 of Pentacles to look like, and know that intense passion began in another life, and it will find you in this when you start getting out there and getting excited and trying new things. Yeah, love is going to surround you, and it's like the partnership in love, the partnership with the career, all of the good opportunities that you're meant to have are going to start showing up for you. When we walk away from anything that does not feel good today, any chaos, any doubts, it's time to start getting inspired and go to the power places wherever you're led to go. It could even just be like, I'm going to start taking walks, nature walks, and I'm going to start finding fucking crystals or stones on the ground, or I'm going to start collecting, something specific. Whatever you are led to do, let yourself do that. And you may be, inspired with something, or find something, or just have that light come back into your life that closes out the chapter where there's been a lack of abundance or a lack of like that fulfillment that we want to receive from the universe. So passion and excitement and joy will bring you the abundance, the fulfillment, the legacy, all of the things will bring you the love. So they're wanting you to, go out and see what is out there for you. Take a leap of faith and let you guide you. What is that little girl inside of you like excited about doing? Let's see. Yes, I was talking. I read to kids at a local ranch last month. Awesome sauce. A woman to grow and build with, complementing one another's strong suits. Yes, I feel this year will be special. Yes, yes. Look, this is karmic energy. Like I'm 4 of Cups. I'm missing something. Like I'm lacking something. That's devil toxic bullshit lie, and that's a sabotager. It's not good. This is the year we can have the opposite of it. This is the year we change that perspective. We get out there, we explore, we see what's out there in this world, and they want you to brainstorm, see what it is. There could be multitudes of things. Yeah, and inner child is here too, so maybe you do need to work with child. Trust your intuition. What is your high priestess saying about it? Less is more. Intuition is key. What is it that you feel you're being guided to do, or wherever it is that you're being guided to go? That's going to help you to inspire your soul to be revitalized with a lucky break, with a fulfilling energy. Yes. All of that would help you. And there's a lot of things out there. So don't get caught up. Like, don't be like, I don't know, I can't decide. Just try the first thing that's like, I'm going to try. I would like to do this. Then try it and do it. Don't keep thinking about all the other fucking things that you could possibly try and do. Just try one. If you don't like it, okay, well, we learned that. And then the next thing. Just don't be crazy and be like, because like I know ADHD people like myself will be like, let me buy a fucking Cricut machine and all the shit that you need for it, and then never use it. Let me buy all the shit that you need to make epoxy stuff, and then never use it. Like, yeah, don't do that. But, try something somewhere to see if you like it. And then if you do, be resourceful, get creative with it. You can do it all, but we don't need to have all the stuff to do all the things that are out there. Let's just take it one step at a time. But the inner child tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts, I feel like are being activated. If you allow yourself to page the path forward, be the leader that you wish you had, okay? Be your own leader. Let you decide, what is it that I should be doing? Where is it I should be doing it? Look, child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. You don't need me. You don't need cards. You don't need anybody to tell you. The universe is within you, guiding you, and your cosmic ancestors are helping you. So stay grounded and see the light, and know that you are going to be led to exactly where you're meant to be. And you're being cracked open and severing away from any conflict, any things that have kept you to feel like, oh no, I'm separated from the things that I would like to have. You're surrendering into the alchemy from the rock bottom and rising to the top. All right. Coming in late, but it's me, Moonchild. Hello. I don't know. This reading was amazing. You're welcome. Thank you. I bought my art easel and never I have one of those too. I have one of fucking everything. Or many of everything. Like, oh, let me get this and that and this and that and this and that. I've used some of the things, but like that Cricut machine, never used it. I sold it. It still had the styrofoam in it. I sold it to the people. I'm like, here you go. Here's the box that came with it. That has like the first fucking project you're supposed to make when you get it. Never did it. Never touched any of it. I only opened like one pack of paper to use for something else. But I had bought the Cricut and all the shit that goes along with it. I got a whole bureau of shit for the fucking epoxy stuff. I gave away all the stuff for the making jewelry. I have all the stuff for any type of art project. I have all the stuff to make the dream catchers. I have all the crystals. I got way too much crap that I need to get rid of. But it's also a hassle. It's like, oh, there's so much of it. Oh, Instagram, Moonchild. Intuitive Moonchild? Is that what you said? Okay, yeah. Hello. Trying to subscribe in YouTube levels not here, but Patreon. The Patreon should be linked somewhere. It should be in the description box, I would think. I don't know. Someone had trouble the other day. They were in the 1111 tier and they tried to upgrade. They did upgrade to the $22 tier. They were part of it. They accessed stuff that was there. But then the next day it was like they were taken off of all of it. And it's like I've been having to send them stuff in the meantime because they're not in any tier. Like Patreon like canceled their thing and didn't. It was weird. It's like weird. So I'm waiting for them to get that fixed. But in the meantime, I've been sending them all the things that go to that tier separately. But it's been a weird week with like things. I want the chance to be the father to a Hildolf mine that I never had. You are welcome. I want the chance to be the father to a child of mine I never had. Okay. Like what? I want the chance to be the father to a child of mine that I never had. Okay. Well, I just saw big family there. So I think you know, anything is possible. You got to take back our power. There's unknown things that are influencing all of us at this time, but like any resentments, any block. I think there's a lot of stuff around resentments and darkness, things that we're haunted by our own past. We need to let go of so that we can breathe and express ourselves and open up. There's a portal that's open at this time that's ready and waiting for us to heal. My name's listed in Patreon list, maybe 111, but yeah, you I had added you when you had come in, but I haven't edited. I copy and paste for this thing that I'm doing tonight. I have a copy and paste list for the live, and I haven't edited the names in a while, so I don't think you're not in there as a paid member right now. And even if you were, it's the 555 for this one. It's the 555 tier is you get all the readings all month long, which is like there's a lot. And then when I do the lives on Monday night on the Bridget Rao channel, you can get a free question there, which I do Monday nights at 8 p.m. So that's how that is. But yeah, I took away the 111 tier. I haven't edited this description in a while. I got to edit the description for the live events. But yeah, I've been on for a while anyway, so it's probably for a reason that it's not working. I still got to go do a, what do you call it? I got to do a fucking 3-hour thing. Actually, I got 5 hours of stuff. I got 5 hours of stuff to do after this. I gotta do a natal chart. I gotta do a cord cutting. I also gotta do a fucking another one of the Patreon readings, which those are available for people. Patreon readings you can get like at any time. Basically, you request it, and there's $5 ones, $10 ones, and up. Um, but yeah, I got a lot of those things to do. My name, I have felt this way for months now. Wanted this my adult life. Um, yeah. I think there's things that are shifting. It says turn for the better, on the right track, best possible outcome. Like I said, people are shifting. We're on a roll for a new cycle. There's a turning point. There's a portal open. Expect better. Expect it, and you'll receive it. If it's been on your mind, there's a reason for it. And things are going to be balancing with beneficial connections. So trust and believe it, and you'll see the fruits of your labor. But also, like I said earlier, follow your integrity, follow and vocalize what it is that you are feeling. Like, let it be known to the universe and let it be known to others. And any fears or doubts, let those go, and know that an unclear phase will be cleared up. You're going to be more stable as you move forward. Things are working out for us in our favor. But we got to believe it. So go for it. Good things are happening. We got business trip, driven to succeed. Yeah, we're all going to be getting all of that things that we feel like we missed. Like, I missed that opportunity. I missed that connection. I missed that relationship. No, we had to go within. We had to be on our own. We had to work on ourselves so that we could get to that new position, so that we could open up to these creative expressions, that we could bring in the right people, have a breath of fresh air, and not like fill a void with something that was going to be a short-term thing, or it was a lie or an illusion. It's like we had to fill our own holes. We're filling our own holes. We're fixing our own minds. We're fucking ourselves in the ass. I'm just kidding. My brain's weird. We're letting go of the toxicity, the lies, and the devil, and the toxic, and the bullshit, and the manipulating things that have been brought into us, all the drama, the challenges, the karma. Letting it go. And gonna be finishing first. But we gotta embrace this new start and believe in it. That's the most important thing, is believe. If you want to receive, you've got to believe. And if you don't believe, then you want to receive. If I do now, Patreon, will I get a reading tonight? Well, I'm getting off soon. So, like, I've been on for a couple hours, like almost 3 hours now. So, I feel like you should wait. See, let's wait until the next one. Like on Monday night, I will be live on the Bridget Rao channel. So because like sometimes you come around and then you disappear, and then you come around and then you disappear. And it's like, I don't want you to waste your fucking time because you don't need to do that. Like, you could either do the $2.99 thing and get your one reading. Because like, if you sign up, unless you want the readings that are in there, don't sign up just to get a reading tonight. You know what I mean? Like, do what makes sense. You always go back and forth, and then like you end up missing out. Like, and I don't want you to miss out because you've signed up to this before, and then you missed all the lives that were after. It's like every once in a while you pop on and you're here, and then it's like it'll be like 6 months I don't see you, and then you're like, oh, I missed out. Oh no. And I'm like, I don't want you to miss it. I'm gonna screw yourself over with it. You know, do what makes sense for you. You know. Like the Patreon thing, see, like on Monday night, if you find me, which I don't know if you will, you see if that makes sense for you then. I just don't want you to be like, oh, I should and then not. Here, what is it that you're being guided to do? They wanting you to share your song, your frequency, and to dive deep. Yeah, you have coping mechanism, loosen your grip. I feel like I said, I've seen this with you before. I don't even know if you're still in here. Are you still in here? Because you fucking disappear a lot. All right. So, okay, wait till Lunar New Year of Wood Snake, new moon sign up. Yeah. So, like I said, you do this a lot, right? Like, they're wanting you to loosen your grip with how you are coping with things in your life, because I have seen you do that type of thing where it's like you don't make up your mind. It's like, I want to do this but I don't want to do that, and then you will sometimes jump in to do something and then not do it, and it's like but then you miss out. It's like you wasted your time, you wasted your money. You know what I mean? Shift happens, cannot be helped, drama, good advice, right? But like it's just that it's like you're wasting your money, man. You don't like, and I know like a lot of times you want to do something because you want to like save money too. Like there's been times you're like, oh, I want to do this, but I want to do that because I want it to like bada boop. And because of that, I think a lot of times it ends up actually being detrimental to you because you're coming at it from a place of like I do this too. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this and I gotta get that, right? Like I used to go into a store and know like, all right, I have $50 in my pocket. I gotta count everything that I'm putting into my cart. And that would end up screwing me. Like I noticed I've stopped doing that over time, but I still do other things that are like detrimental in this way. Like I've been like having to reprogram myself because it's a difficult thing and it is something it's like a coping mechanism when we want to have abundance and we want to receive good things and we want things to work out for us. It's like it's we sabotage ourselves. It's like under the surface we don't realize that we're keeping ourselves from good things and from good opportunities because we're overthinking it or we're analyzing it to the point or beating it up to the point where it's like then we miss out altogether because it's like, all right, I'm going to do this so that I can have that. And it will make sense. Like I'm gonna wait till this or I'm gonna wait till that. So then it's like I miss it. Like there's been times you want to do the Moon Key for fucking the longest time, and I put it out for like 40% off. You're like, oh, I want to do it, and then you missed it, and it was like, oh, I'm sorry, man. But like that type of stuff happens, when we're in that energy because we're in a place of lack or we're in a place of like keeping ourselves from it. So it's like earlier today when these readings were starting, and it was like I just came in here and you were in here, you should have then done it. Like if you wanted to do it, do it. But then like I don't know, I'm gonna go make a book. And now that it's 3 hours later, I'm getting off. You're like, well, maybe I'll do it. So like, I think they're basically saying like, you need to choose from within yourself and trust yourself and don't overanalyze it to the point where it's like then you miss out on all the opportunities, because not only are you missing on the opportunity for yourself, it's like now then it's like, oh, I feel bad, I feel weird. It's like, oh, like I'm trying to get off but you're like, oh, should I stay, boop, boop, boop. It's like if you had just made that decision earlier, you would have already got it, you would already had what you wanted, everything would be working out for you, and it's like it would be good. But again, I have a hesitancy with you because I've seen in the past that it's like you sign up for something but then you miss out on all the opportunities to receive it or end up it doesn't work out right because it's like you didn't get the notification or you didn't whatever. And it's not your fault, but I think it is interconnected energetically. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're causing yourself conflict and chaos that doesn't need to be there. And I've done this to myself many times, so trust me that it's just what we do. It's like it's ingrained in us. We want to be savvy, we want to be saving, we want to make the most beneficial decision, but we end up not getting anything for ourselves or limiting what we receive because of that energy of lack, of feeling like, oh, but if I get the right deal at the right time, it'll be the right thing. And it's coming from that fear vibration, which ends up limiting us. And it's like, oh no, that sucks because now I don't get that. Now that sucked, and then I missed out all these other things, or and so I feel like they're basically wanting you to get more grounded, more connected, and follow what makes you happy rather than what we're trying to pinch and penny save, right? Like this says complacent, penny pinching, fear of change. I didn't know it said penny pinching. I didn't know that. But right, like we're like I do this. I'm gonna. I even fucking added into like the calculator. Like that's how much I have exactly. Like if we do that, we limit ourselves because it's like we're focused on this little thing. We're focused on that I don't have enough for like all of this. And it's like if it makes you happy and it's not astronomical, so that's what I started doing when I go into the store. Instead of going to the store and being like, okay, this is $5 and this is gonna be $8 and now this is gonna be $22 and this is gonna be $30 and I'm getting closer. No, what about tax? Like I would end up like it was never good. I never felt like happy or relieved or like I was in a good energy when I was doing that shopping that way. And then when I stopped doing that, I noticed I was like, all right, I have $50 in my pocket. I know I don't need $50 worth of stuff. I'm just gonna go in there and get the things within reason and just see what happens. But like instead of counting it all as I added it, it ended up that I would end up having so much more money left over, and I would feel like, oh my god, I got more than I thought, and this was cheaper than I expected. And like tonight when I went to get dog treats for the dogs, there was the special like treats at the store that I don't usually go to. I was like, oh my god, they get the treats. I went up to the register and the thing wouldn't scan, so the lady came over and hit the button and was like, here you go, put it in my bag, and never charged me for it. And it's like, those are the weird things that can happen when we allow them to happen. But had I been all weird and like penny pinching and counting every little thing that I was putting into the thing, I might not have received that blessing. You know, I might not have been like, oh wow, I got what I wanted and I'm so excited. Like I may not have even manifested finding the treats that I wanted because they started selling them and got rid of them at the store that I live near. And then I found them today at a different store, which obviously they might be thinking about getting rid of them too if they don't ring up, but it doesn't matter. It was exciting. It's like I wanted it, I received it, and I'm happy about it. And I didn't limit myself from that blessing, which takes time. You know, like I remember having that difficulty in the beginning, and it got easier over time to stop, like, you know, doing that. It's like if I go into a live and she's just starting it and I have an opportunity to get a reading and I know it's $5, I'm gonna do it. That's a good deal. Awesome sauce. And like, oh wow, you do this every Monday night on the Bridget Rauer channel too? Like, okay, but like what you ended up doing is kind of what I used to do with like the counting and all of that. And I feel like that might be manifesting in other areas, and it's pushing off the destination that you want. It's putting off your payoff. Okay. The rewards are on the horizon for you, but you're not allowing yourself to receive them. So they're wanting you to be a go-getter. Okay. And just trust, if it feels right and it's within reason, I'm going to do it. But if like, then I'm not going to do it. Like if I'm going back and forth, then I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to beat myself up. Right. I'm just going to do what makes sense, when I feel good in the moment. I'm going to let my heart lead me towards my desires. And I'm going to soften to love. I'm not going to have so much conflict within myself. And that's going to help me to bring more abundance and more aligned energies, you know? And we can stop being in the void. We can embrace the cosmic womb and give birth to a better experience for yourself. You have the intelligence of the universe working through you. So trust it. Like, trust that the universe led you here for a reason tonight. When you first came in, you showed up, you were here. And it's like, it was $2.99. It's not the end of the world, right? Like, we don't have to make a big deal about that. It's okay. Even this, I'm giving you this reading for free because it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. And I know when I'm in service and I give without expectation, I get back 10 times more. Every time I give, I receive. And so keep that in mind too, to give to yourself. It's okay to give to yourself. It's okay to open the portal. It's okay to do whatever you're guided to do. Like, and know that, you know, Gaia is guiding you. The spirit is guiding you. Surrender to the extremes of life, and know that if we've been experiencing one thing, the opposite of something, we can experience the other aspect of it. And that's been a repetitive message like all week. Like if we've experienced lack, or we've experienced fear, doubts, or we've been like out of alignment with something specific, the portal can open at any time, and we can experience the opposition of that at any minute, because that's how this existence is. It's just a matter of consciously choosing it and allowing ourselves to receive it through being that visionary, big picture thinking. No, I know. It was basic, but like this is something that has happened on a regular basis with you. It's not like just one time, you know. Like I remember specific times that it's like you go back and forth a lot, and I don't care. It's like it's not something I'm gonna have to, like, it's not gonna impact me that much, you know. It's not a big deal to me. Like I do these things very inexpensively just to help people out, so that, you know, whatever, it's just like an extra thing. But I've seen you do it multiple times with different things, and I'm not trying to like call you out or make you feel bad, because I've done it myself in different ways over the years, and it made me fucking poor, and it made me suffer, and it made me struggle, and it kept me from receiving the blessings and the things that I wanted. So I'm not saying it specifically for this, right? Like if you sign up to the Patreon, you sign up to the Patreon. It's not a big deal to me. It's more so trusting like where you're being led, when you're being led there. I've noticed that theme with you over the years in many different times. Like when you came for the womb, right? There was like a lot of indecision within you about many things. We had a long talk, like with your voice. We were speaking back and forth. I remember the things you said. There was a lot of back and forth inside of you. And I feel like that has been keeping you from receiving what you want to receive, you know? And I've seen it happen here too, on the channel at different times, and in the Patreon, and in Etsy, and like all these different things. So allow yourself to get married to the things that you want without feeling like, you know. I feel like it's something that might even be ancestral, You know, it could have been passed down to you. I think a lot of us have learned these types of things from our family, from our parents. Like, oh, you know, we got to save our money. If does it make sense? Is it on sale? And like that can even be things too. Like there's people out there, people could put something on sale or say it's on sale, but they've jacked the price up. So it's really not even on sale, just a perception of it being on sale. Is it something that I need? Is it something that I want? Is it something that's valuable to me? Is it something I can afford and it's not going to destroy like my ability to survive? Then I can allow myself to receive it without like, you know, beating it up inside of myself. But when we allow ourselves to do that, we will be able to have a lot more abundance and a lot more opportunities that work out for us. Because I've noticed like you'll show up here or on Facebook or over here, like it's like weird and random, and then you're gone again. So I'm like, I don't feel right about you signing up to a commitment with me if I'm not sure that you're going to even benefit from it, right? Like, I don't know if you're going to be here next month. I don't know if you're going to be here next week. So I don't think you should waste your money to do that. I think it would make sense for you to do the $2.99 for one time, but I don't know. Maybe you will show up, but that's only going to happen based off of you. And I think that's happening in your life in other areas. I think it's like you want this thing to happen, but there's something inside of you that's like in contrast with it, conflicting it and blocking it from happening. And so we've got to figure that out so that we can stop doing that. But like my perspective over here is like, I don't want you to sign up for something that you're not going to benefit from, but I can see how that might manifest in many different areas of our lives and keep us from our big visionary expansion. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense and doesn't, I don't want to make you feel bad or, it's like, I'm not calling you out. I really don't have any attachment to you being a member of anything. I honestly just want you to be able to receive things when you want to receive them and benefit from the things that you connect with, you know? So hopefully that makes sense. Needed to awareness from your perspective, and now I'm seeing it too. Good. Yeah. And that's sometimes, you know, that's my job. That's what I'm here for. Multifaceted, new perspectives. I don't always like it. I don't like to be the one that the bearer of the news. But also remember, like, usually I see it because I've been there and I've done it. And a lot of times it is easier for other people to acknowledge or see things that we're not seeing. So allow yourself that ability to receive all of the blessings and look at under the surface of where it came from. It's probably something from mom or dad or grandparents or whatever. Our grandparents all grew up in the Great Depression, or our parents grew up in the Great Depression. Everybody was struggling and, you know, oh no, everybody. But even, you know, it can come down to your blood. It's a lie. We don't have to struggle or suffer or be kept away. We can be courageous and have all that we need. For sure, sabotage self. I'm not great at the tech. That's all right. Even like, you know, that's another thing too. Like when people show up and they have difficulties with technology, I'm always like, oh no, like I don't want them to suffer or struggle. Like I try to help them. Like I'm like, oh no, let's figure this out. But it is hard in this world if you have those types of things. But you know, it'll get better. We'll all get better. Just trust yourself to go to where you're meant to go. Good. I'm glad you're not taking it personal. Awesome sauce. All right. So I am going to go now. But like I said, I will be on the Bridget Rao channel on the Monday nights. I missed this Monday night because my stomach was like not okay for a few days. And I didn't really want to have to wait and like be live and be like, hold on, guys, I need to go to the bathroom. It was really weird. It was like unpredictable. And sometimes going live can be very stressful. So I have a tendency to get more sick to my stomach if I'm stressed. So I will probably be there Monday night. And hopefully I will get these other things done that I need to get done so I can share a video to the channel soon for everybody beyond just the readings. And thank you guys very much. I hope you have a good new year. I haven't even shared anything since the new year, like a video or anything. But Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you very much. I hope you have a good night, a good day, good year ahead. And I will see you very soon. In Renee, namaste. Much love and boost of energy. Yes, thank you. I need it. I gotta go do all these other things. Thank you.